and that spawned like a huge wave that we could measure. So now it's been confirmed, which is incredible.
This is just great.
That was the other part of my
lessons with Anders. It's just like Diablo grind.
Huge scientific discovery.
Beautiful.
One of the biggest in the past 10 years or more, probably.
I just sit there watching QI. It makes me feel intelligent, but actually, I'm just there looking at Stephen Fry. So,
well, who doesn't really, to be honest? Steven's
he's amazing.
Absolutely. Anyway, who did the chat on that show?
Alan Davis.
I love Alan Davis.
He's amazing. He's so funny. SK have got the knife round, so you get to see if they're going to make you mad or not. Let's see, SK. You're going to rustle the gym jams of Dearest Anders.
I mean, we already had this conversation yesterday, SK, and I just feel like...
I hope they do it just to annoy you now.
If you're not even going to listen, then...
That Danish flag just...
They are going to stay there. All right.
Joe, I'll let you take this round, just so you can take all your anger and frustration at least into this.
Well, I have to assume that they have then, you know, they've looked at the demo from last time and come up with like a really good way to play the CT side now, so that they can.
They're changing the meta, Anders.
They can get like. I think they need 5 or more rounds, preferably 6 or more. I'll let them have it at like 5 or more, but then it's still going to be a tough game. So, pistol round, and this is what goes back to what Janko was saying. If they at least win the pistol round, then something is working out right. Asilian with a little bit of a challenge early on here, and fighting Guardian, and this is maybe not such a bad fight. He's doing good damage, down to 2 health, 1 more bullet to do it, but somehow Guardian is still alive, and Seized and Modi have been traded. That's Pimp and Flamey picking up a kill each, and Edward walking right in. Pimp gonna go down, and now it's 2 versus 3. It's still looking decent enough here for NaVi. They can get this round done, but the bomb is out in the middle of nowhere. There's time left for them. And they do have a USP on Edward, so it's possible for them to find some long-range kills. Magic Boy in a good corner, and actually Asilian still in a very good spot, so still more than a minute left here.
See what NaVi can find out of this one. As we know, the bomb has been spotted out, but Asilian's keeping tabs that maybe someone's still coming through platform wide. Zeus is there, now spots him out. Asilian's going to get the tag, just cautious of Edward being somewhere else on the map that could cause issues, but actually Zeus takes down Asilian. That's going to make some real issues happen now, because bear in mind, Guardian's cutting off the rotate here. Magis, though, completely wipes out Edward. Now in a 1v2, though, Zeus picks up that P250. He's got to know where 1 is, but where's Freeze in all this? He's got to understand, he's got to be he has to be somewhere around there.
So little time right now for Zeus. I think he's playing this a little bit too long. I think maybe he also got spotted by Magic, who was actually over by the chicken coop, and there's a good headshot coming in. Now down to 25 seconds, and gotta remember as well, this round for SK is huge. They have to win it. Everything pretty much rides on it, so see if they can make it work. Zeus coming up, he gets shut down. Magic Boy picking up 3 kills in the round, and SK winning it. A lot of credit as well to Asilian early on. I mean, getting Guardian that low, trying to stay alive for a long time. I think he tried to play it smartly up on that plateau. So, yeah, very good job. And NaVi just getting a bit confused in the middle of it.
Yeah, normally that drop kind of split. It was a full 1 split, as you said. Guardian was the one in that little fight with Asilian. Asilian just held back, allowing Guardian down, so everyone else could just focus in on drop. And actually well handled throughout the map there by SK. So, first round goes to them, but will we see the often said stat now of how many times the T side can turn the second round, considering we've got the armor there, we've got the smokes, we've got the couple of A flash, and everything they need. A Deagle as well now. Cease is the one testing the waters over by B, but that's not where the play is coming towards, at least for now. Now Pimp's gonna be the one having to wait on this corner. Zeus is there, so there's the first. Pimp's got to expect more though. Backs away smartly, takes a different angle, spots the bomb, and now they should have this round.
Oh, definitely. Freeze also winning a fight. Pimp eventually going down, but it's not really the end of the world. Seized and Guardian are going to be left, and looking for a bit of a shot there. Guardian, the Deagle in hand. I do want to credit Asilian for not returning fire over by the plateau. That may seem like a really silly thing, but so many people, when they start seeing sort of the bullet traces coming through the smoke, they feel tempted to shoot back. And think about how little there is to gain from his point of view. Maybe he gets the kill, so what? If he goes down, though, that'll potentially open up the whole bomb site. So it's just not worth it. I think it's smart for him to not do it. Maybe if he had the M4A1, he could chance a couple of shots through. But it's still dangerous. You don't know how many people are back there. And
we were seeing Asilian's praise, to be fair. This guy held it together on Mirage, for example, against Envy with the UMP. He plays such a unrewarding role sometimes, but he does it very, very well. So credit to him so far for keeping that up. But Guardian's going to find Modi's head pretty swiftly, but Magic is there, and he will find the last one. So again, SK holding it down, keeping at least a rifle into practice here for Magic. Everyone else is pretty well set, so shouldn't be too much of a bother. And really, NaVi haven't had much of an opportunity for anything. They haven't had a single bomb plant yet. And they haven't picked up that many kills either. They're still relatively well set going forward, but at the moment, they should be just fine.
Yeah, this next round coming up should be much, much simpler for SK to have to deal with. So the real test, and this is again fulfilling sort of the Yanko prophecy here. It's about winning that 4th round now. That really matters. They're going to try and see if they can get down, drop really quickly. Modi there with the UMP takes down one, and this grenade is going to be beautiful, isn't it? Right around the corner, forcing them forward, getting a kill with the grenade as well, and shutting down all of NaVi. Let's see. Will they save both the SMGs? I hope not. Yeah, I think Modi already, and yeah, they switch out everything. And I love it. This so much right. If they win this round, then their first half is almost done. Then they can just almost relax and say that that's cool.
It's like I can almost forgive it when you're Envy, right? And you can win those crazy force buys. But when you're SK, I don't think you can quite have that sort of confidence in it. But now I can see Guardian back on this AWP now, or at least the first time, should I say, in this game. So curious how this one plays out. They did that nice little 4-stack towards B in the prior round, expecting NaVi just to do that all-in rush. But up on long, we've got Freeze there, double stacking it out. But Modi waiting patiently by drop. Nade comes through. Does actually catch Shees and Flamir touch. The trading comes through. Molly's there. But NaVi just making their presence noted. They are actually fairly far forward at this point. And I think, again, Asilian's going to be important in this one. He's going to be holding by that drop as well with Modi. Smoking out by the window. Going to force it into the hands of Asilian if he goes for it. But he smokes again. So just holding them back so far. A nice little tip for Tap. But looking at the utility SK still have, they've got a fair bit there. They've got the Molly still in play, at least onto Pimp, a couple of flashes. But it looks like Edward's starting to edge out towards that B site.
Let's see. A bit of a pop flash in. Just trying to buy more time and maybe break up the timing just a tiny bit for NaVi. There is a 3-man stack going on here. And I'm not sure this setup is ideal for what's coming. I do like the fact that Freeze is coming in to help out. That will definitely make things easier. But Asilian goes down, and now look at Magic. He has to cover just way too much at the moment. If he falls as well, this bomb site is already going to be gone. But nice shot there, and he just continues. Freeze picking up Flamey as well. What a great reply from SK. Magic picking up Zeus, and now it's all down to Seized. 1 versus 4. He can't make it happen. Modi will shut him down. And SK, a huge round for them here. This puts so much pressure on NaVi.
And the best thing is that we just saw that 3-stack coming in pretty well. The thing you were highlighting earlier that not many teams do, it actually worked out quite nicely for them. It was a little later than maybe we previously saw, but you can see as soon as we see 4 players come to platform, instantly everyone comes out. Freeze is playing the statue well. You've already got Magic going big for his side, but you did have the support there coming through as well. So nicely done, and it's the imperative 4th round here.
And actually, in that replay that we just saw, you saw how Magic was turning around just as they're pushing out the plateau. Just imagine how mad that is. I mean, the fact that he even feels the sort of the need to do that, he's worried for just a second, that's so scary, because if they get the kill on him right there, again, everything falls apart. So there's so much to cover on that plateau or in that boost box there, but it works out for them. Really, really good job on SK. I'm definitely loving this. And look at how the setup is now. Again, 2 people by A, a little bit more of a spread out defense over at the B bomb site. But they're expecting, I think, a kind of an A hit. And actually, there's something we've seen previously on Cobblestone as well, so I don't blame them. That people will sometimes try and speed up on A long with just Tech 9s.
Yeah, and I like Freeze's spot as well. He was playing the kind of jump off just very close, beyond to sit over towards B if needed. But already NaVi putting at least 2 players towards that drop run. Flamey being one of them. Molly going to hold them back, or at least deny one path through. But they're not overly reading into this SK. Modi's found C, so that's going to cut off one of the arms here, and he finds a second. That's the 2 players removed from the B presence. Now it's down towards A. Pimp's got Zeus down, and he spots out the last 2, so they know exactly what's coming. And nicely done by SK. Not over-rotating, not panicking on towards drop, assuming that maybe, hey, they're just pouring through here. Keeping calm, keeping cool. And look at the economy building up for SK now. 7.1 on Freeze, you got 7k as well on Magic. This is looking really nice for these guys. And Pimp as well. If we can see how many times they've died throughout this as well, if Rush, the Observer, could just hover along that, I'd love it dearly. You can see how clean some of these rounds have been now. They're keeping players alive, and they're building up that perfect economy. On the other side, this is going to be a tough one for NaVi.
Now, you got to wonder what kind of state of mind SK is in, because it's 5-0 is very good to start off with, so they're probably feeling great. But if they lose this round, then I think they should start to think about maybe just how do we get another 2 rounds on the board. You know, we've got 10 rounds to play, but how do we get just 2 more? Because that would be brilliant right now. Pimp, got to be careful about the gun barrel showing. Edward is right on the other side, but a bit of a pop flash in. Pimp going to go for the peek, and it's almost perfect. That could have been a great double kill there. Freeze on the corner, missing a shot, and they're going to try and speed up behind. The grenade comes out. Edward on 1 health. Freeze still not getting that kill, and he's going to get hunted down and killed by Zeus.
And I think he had a Tech 9 to fall back to if he wanted to, but he just wanted to stick it out. No, Asilian's in no man's land. He's got players just to his right, but now Modi has to hold this together. If he allows them to pour through and challenge down Asilian, they're going to be down to absolutely no one. Good flashes going out. I think that actually might have been a team flash that caught him in the end, but still, Modi Just holding calm. Zeus is looking for something here. Asilian's holding well, but down goes Magic, and that's the cover we were looking for. Modi, great little bit of coordination with Asilian then, keeping him covered. Down to this 2v2, though. Na'Vi still have a good chance at this, but the bomb's in a good spot for SK.
Good grenade on to Guardian there. That was beautiful. Obviously, if it had been Edward, that would have been even more impressive. And Edward, he's got 1 health, but still picking up kills. Modi out in the open, a drop Guardian, and the bomb is up there as well. 30 seconds. Modi just has to land 1 bullet, and there it is. He clutches the round with a triple kill here. A lone Swedish player on team. And it's going to be 6-0. And now we have got to be a little bit worried. And that's maybe why they're just straight buying here. Not going for like a Tech 9 semi-buy or anything like that. They're just going to go in for it here. I wonder if they're going to try and speed it up at some point. I mean, if they haven't really tested that beat defense yet, I think.
No, they haven't just gone for that straight play, like just power through and take the challenge. Now, again, credit, in my eyes, goes to Asilian and Modi. These two, the coordination, the teamwork it takes to actually play A well is something that a lot of teams do have issues with, and especially because you have so much faith in the guy holding the site there, which was Modi, and Asilian had to just say, guys, you know, just please don't let them push me. But now it's Freeze's turn. Last time he didn't get really much of a shot at this, and I think they're going to go for a little bit of a cheeky boost out on this one. Guardian's going to be the one possibly going for the swing out. Actually, no, they do just end up backing away, and Freeze, you can't miss sitters like that. That does allow some control towards A and just removes some of the vision away from the map from SK.
Sees, look at him trying to catch whoever he can. That's going to be the kill on Modi, who was out of the open for a very long time. It looked a bit confusing for a moment. Freeze only going to get the 1 shot in on Zeus, which is a good kill, but I'm not sure it's going to be quite enough. There is a flank coming in, but I think it's going to be just a couple of seconds too late here. Asilian, he couldn't catch anyone on that slope, and that means it's going to be a full 4 versus 3 retake here, which is not at all easy for SK. Sees holding close to the balcony. Asilian might get a free shot in, but he can't have the headshot just yet. The Guardian gets to live a little while longer, and now they're out of time as well. Pimp and Magic will pick up 2 good kills, but it's still a little bit too late. Magic trying to see if he can clutch it. This is a very, very brave move. Flashbang not going to touch him just yet. He takes out Seized, and the bomb is planted out in the open as well. So he's got 1 chance here to kill Edward. Goes for it, and Edward just takes the full fight. I just had no idea what Edward was just doing. That is Magic Boy coming up with a triple kill, an 11-1 scoreline, and a clutch against Navi that are now down 7-0.
I guess maybe I need to call out Magic a little bit more. You know, last time, super quiet game. Didn't have that big performance that I expected him to have. Now, you can see the delivery this guy can bring. But then again, Edward had a flash as well. He could have just pop flashed out if he wanted to go for something. Just takes the straight fight, and wow, that was actually quite late into the plant as well. There was only a couple more seconds on that, really, if you wanted to play to the time. But still, 7-0, Anders. You know, we mock SK Gaming, right? We gave them a little bit of grief for picking on that CT side initially. Then you got to think, coming back into it, they pick it again. And now we're seeing why. You said maybe they've done their homework here, sat there, just gone through the demos, just kind of poring over those options. And I guess it's worked out to some degree. Navi's going to be left scratching their heads at this point. We've given little attention to them because really, they've not brought much to the plate, and they've yet to go for that faster hit now. Now Pimp takes a swing on towards Edward, wins that fight along, and there's no one else really there at the moment, but it might speed up the play towards drop now. It does seem as though Seized is looking towards trying to find something, but Asilian's gone for the counter boost, and it works out. He holds back just long enough to make it count, and now Zeus still on his own here, looking for something. He's going to at least take down Pimp, but now they know roughly where that bomb is, as both of them start pushing through.
So interesting is how many fights SK are winning are really far away from the bomb sites, which doesn't usually happen that much on the CT side of Cobblestone. So I actually love it. They've also got some good setups where Freeze is sort of there baiting a bit with the AWP, and then there's a rifle player right next to him over at long.
Yeah,
so
normally Pimp, I think it is.
Yeah, Pimp, exactly. So they're getting some pretty decent trades in right now, and that's incredible because usually you end up fighting pretty much on the bomb sites if you're on the CT side, and that's the problem, obviously. That's where things tend to fall apart. So I think maybe part of the success here for SK is just actually forcing the fights way earlier on, instead of here where you'd normally have them, right? Guardian is alone in a 1-on-4, takes down one to make it a 1-on-3, does a lot of damage, very nearly took out Asilian. Guardian on the verge of clutching a 1v4 here. He's going to get the bomb plant as well, and they've got to be careful here. They don't want to spark any kind of comeback here for Navi. Grenade comes in once, Guardian going to go for the shot. That's now triple kill. And Modi, does he have any idea where he's coming from? Guardian needs to just get one look at him here. And oh, it's a headshot as well. And it's going to be all 4 kills. Guardian picking it up the first round for Navi in a 1-on-4.
How can you account for a player like that? You just... okay, don't get me wrong. They probably shouldn't have been peeking one by one. Even at the end, decisions are awkward at that point. Do you try and take a quick fight? Do you try and catch him on the reload? But you just can't give that guy chances. He's so damn good in these situations. And now 7-1, sure. Okay, it's a very minimal piece in the puzzle to be put together here, but it's a start. It's one way to get someone like Guardian confident. Now, Freeze is looking for these picks here. Guardian's already waiting a bit of an off angle. Well, an adjustment on that doesn't get the shot through, though, and now going to get the information and back away this time.
I think the fact that they lost that 1v4 is probably one of those things that happens even more when you're up as far as they are. They feel so confident that, well, it's won already. Then it just isn't, so got to be a bit careful with that. A good performance from Guardian, obviously. Some of those shots weren't too easy. I'm just waiting to see, because you can tell right now SK are playing much more defensively than they were earlier. And this is normally what I don't really like to see on this map. Again, from the looks of it right now, the fights are mostly going to happen. If they can get this plateau win in, then that's good. But if not, then they're going to end up fighting on the bomb side, and NaVi should have the lead.
Well, perfectly timed flash then, but then again, NaVi does like to make their plays happen at around that 40-second marker, so it's not something completely unheard of. And there we go, the smokes are going down. It's going to be down to Magic and Asilian to create this crossfire, and they have checked for him, but it doesn't matter. This guy's going wild. He's got the perfect flash. He picks up two, and NaVi are going to be left in absolute disarray if they don't get these kills in and very, very quickly. The molly's not quite to place, and now Edwards in a tricky situation. He has to depend on C's to come through with this. 20 seconds remaining. It's all onto Edward, and to be fair, piece by piece, it's fallen apart here for NaVi, and they do not get the timing, they do not get the execute. And SK with the perfect position. I don't know how Magic got away with that.
Well, part of the explanation why he got away with it is because NaVi, even though they won the round, it was only Guardian that lived, so the rest didn't have that much money, so they had almost no Molotov to check any corners. Now, I would actually love to know if Magic took that into consideration when he went there, because if you stand there after NaVi have won, 4 or 5 rounds in a row, very, very often that spot's going to get Molotov out, and you'll have a really, really bad position. So if he sort of went to the depths of saying, wait a minute, they can't have that much money, I'll just try and stand it because they won't be able to check it. That'd be quite cool. And obviously the timing with the flashbangs was just perfect as well. Wow, we're watching some really cool stuff here. I mean, I'm excited for what's seeing.
You and me both. I'm also just kind of hoping, though, that NaVi just starts speeding up towards B, or just do like that kind of like more aggressive B hit. Like, of course, they've probably been put off by the, not the unfortunate rounds, but the well-played rounds by Magic. Last time they tried it, I guess, he was up on the plateau. He just nailed down 2 or 3 of them. It becomes awkward. But they've not done that all-in smash on B, where it's like a little bit of, a little bit of play towards drop. Nice timing coming out. They can't really afford it at the moment, which is the only thing that's going to be coming through for the next couple of rounds. But hopefully when they do get the money, and I'd really like to see it because we haven't seen it, which was a consistent issue for SK against Envy, because when Envy were playing that slower style, SK got a couple of rounds. We're like, okay, that's that's good, right? But then suddenly Envy were like, screw this, why are we playing this respectful style? Let's just go in and take the fights. And then suddenly SK couldn't cope. But then again, if Magic's hitting shots, if Pimp's playing well, if Moddy's on fire, it's very hard to win this out. But look at this play from Pimp. He's got to have heard those footsteps. Freeze sees everything, misses again. Freeze is not hitting the shots that I've been expecting so far, and this is just a quick play from NaVi to try and get in their faces. And a good trade actually for Seas there, takes down Molly, so it opens up a chance, but a fast rotate from SK. Everyone's here, but again, Freeze, can this guy hit a shot right now? Apparently not, and it's put Pimp in a bit of a weird position. He ends up dropping, but they will be able to trade it out anyway. Asilian coming up with a good double kill, and SK making it 9-1, and NaVi had actually fought in this round. That was an important round for them. You could tell definitely that the speed was almost catching SK off guard then, but they did have a really quick rotation, and that's partly possible because their hold on B is only really having one person on the site and the other 2 closer to drop. So that those 2 people in drop are more capable of rotating back there. So overall, everything just seems to be working right now for the Danish team. Pretty impressive. I'm thoroughly impressed, and it looks like a kind of all-in. Look, again, they're doing this thing where they boost up and they don't like to push people too much forward. I think it's a very good idea indeed. Magic going to be falling back down, but Asilian picking up one more double kill and looking for the triple here. Finishing off Guardian is going to give him just that for a 10-1 scoreline. And I mean, I've got to say I'm impressed with Asilian lately. Magic and Muddy playing really well, Pimp as well, but I feel like Asilian seemed like him and Freeze, I think, are the 2 people on this team that seem the most lost out of all of them. But for a while now, he's actually been playing quite well. Yeah, absolutely. Plus, he's doing like the calling, so not easy. No, it's really not. I'm amazed at this so far. You look historically at who's beaten NaVi on this map in recent times. your Fanatics have basically been there. Luminosity maybe once or twice getting close, but it's been, you know, it's been the heavy hitters. NaVi are a extraordinarily good side of this map, so I'm hoping we get to see something of that. But so far, SK playing out of their minds. Playing this perfect game on a side that just doesn't encourage it. And the good flash comes out. They're trying to maybe throw back to how do we eliminate Magic right now? And they can't. That's 2 back-to-back, and NaVi are struggling here. And this guy is at the helm of that ship just saying, you are not going to this side at all. He's got so much backup as well. And NaVi just can't exploit this.
And again, they do not have the grenades, because you can easily Molotov that position out that Magic is in. So I'm sort of starting to wonder, do NaVi not know how to throw them, or do they just never have enough money for it? It seems like this round they didn't.
Yep.
But they haven't really tried previously either. I mean, they can't easily rush B because all of those grenades are coming in early on. But once the grenades have been used, as Zeus sort of drops in here, there's no reason why they couldn't go for a real execute. You know, Molotov the platform,
Yep.
put the smokes down on the long side, then get in and get the bomb down. I mean, that if SK are holding close to plateau, the way to try and punish them is obviously just to try and take color fights very often through smoke. If it works, then you go. As soon as you get a kill, everybody goes in drop and on plateau. If they're holding as far back as SK are now, the way to punish them should be to put up a wall of smokes and then get the bomb down.
I'm hoping we can watch Seized here. He does have the molly, so hopefully the Observer does switch over to Seized and see if that actually goes down towards the plateau or if it's just towards drop. Again, just put it towards drop. They've got the smokes there, so actually not going for what maybe we'd hope is to molly out that position, even if it's just with the Tech 9s to allow the entrance to the side. They've been severely lacking. Now, Magic, again, you asked if this was a play off the back of if he does go to the corner or play on the side, knowing that there's a lack of money, and it seems as though it is.
And it's going to be brutal as well because they're trying to execute much further into the side. They're also getting flanked by Pimp. NaVi not finding much luck at all. There's some Molotov coming out. Pimp shooting Zeus just slightly in the back of the head.
Zeus is like, what?
Bit of a tickle, like, what's going on here? Magic going to be picking up the one headshot on Guardian, and he does line up a couple of more players, but he will take him out eventually. He does a lot of damage and Freeze is there. Going to be jumping around the corner. Nice style points coming out from Pimp and Freeze to finish it off with a double kill of his own to make it 12-1. Wow, they're dictating this game so ruthlessly right now. NaVi, they wanted to punish, it just looks like they wanted to punish the setup for SK by putting up those smokes and getting the bomb down. But then Magic is playing close instead of far back, and obviously Pimp flanking as well. But even then, it's pretty hard for NaVi at the moment.
I am beyond impressed with this, but Freeze now at least gets a little bit more of a debut than he's had earlier, finds Edward and gets a lot of information to boot. He already saw maybe 2 other players, or at least, well, excuse me, 1 other player crossing then, so they know there was at least a presence to this. And you can see the instant reaction. They actually fall back pretty passively very early on. They're not taking any deeper fights, really. They're letting these guys take some control here, and Zeus just trying to see if he can get a peek over the top of that smoke. No one's actually there. Bearing in mind, Pimp occasionally has been pushed up towards that sort of spot, but Pimp this time is down waiting in mid, and a lovely adjustment towards Flamey, and again, it's all falling to ruin. NaVi are just not winning out in these fights, and they are not understanding the pacing that SK are pretty much bringing to this.
I gotta wonder just how come there was no big change for NaVi at all in this game. When they started to realize surely that SK were doing a very fine job at winning these duels, they should be able to use the numbers that they have, pushing either side essentially with just a bit more pace and trying to see if they can make that work. They even came close, you know, rushing a bomb site with Tech 9s. They definitely caught SK off guard, and they must have had a sense that they were able to get quite far into the A bomb site before there was a real reaction. So they're not doing a very good job at the moment of adjusting to really anything.
No.
But
maybe they just saw your stats at the start. You know, like how much you love the CT side and things like that, and they're like, do you know what? We better keep up to those.
I've been really bitter about the CT side on this map. Like, really salty.
To be fair, though, it's an absolute joy seeing a team who can work around it. So it's a nice adjustment. It's something that you actually wanted to see. But now it's down to Seized, who does manage to get the first. And he spots out the second. He's just seen another flash possibly come over from that direction. I don't know if he can work that out quite yet. But that molly isn't into touch, so he does have a chance here. But a spray comes out. It's not quite on. Cillian leaps around and gets it. And another one on the board for SK. This is brutal, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, I won't go so far as to say that this is SK sort of showing us how to play CT side Cobble, but I think right now they're showing us more promise than a lot of teams who sort of tend to get a little bit stuck here. But I think Navi might also have reached the point where they're now so frustrated at what's going on that that second kill, for instance, that Pimp got shouldn't have happened. He should have been going down instead, and it should have been a trade, and then Navi maybe could build something behind it. Now it's a double up setup here for the 15th round, the last of the half, and Navi trying to see if they can find a way back here. Let's see if they are going to be able to put this together. A lot of grenades coming out early on, a lot of presence here. C setting up for the one smoke, and I'm wondering if they are finally going to try and put this Molotov home. Up onto the box. Not the magic is there right now, but still be good to see them just do some of the fundamentals. There's the Molotov going up. So if he had been there, it would have worked out just fine. But now Cillian freeze as well, and Navi, they're getting shut down. I still think this is the right call. I think they should have made it a long time ago, but it's not working out. SK, everything is going their way right now.
It really is. This is the first time they've had the double AWP out as well. Pimp just picking that one up, but it doesn't even really get a chance to even put it to practice now. Zeus is trying to find the room to breathe here, try and find a little bit of room to move, but already you can see that SK are like, okay, well, it's not really here, is he? And who's watching that cross? It is Pimp. Oof! Zeus almost punishing Pimp for holding that angle on the drive-by, but he's looking to try and at least pick up one here, make this feasible, a chance, you know. Guardian pulled off something obscene before, and that was the round they got on here, remember. Guardian going wild, and look at the coordination on these flashes, just trying to get a nice blanket flash throughout. It doesn't even matter if you get it or not. Modi is there with backup of magic, and the defuse will come in. And when Navi's only picking up one round so far because of Guardian being an animal, that is ridiculous.
Very, very curious about what's happening here. I'm definitely going to go back and watch this demo again, and just look at the minimap for the whole demo, basically. Because the word that I'm looking for is sort of if this could be replicated. That's what I'm thinking about. Because if you can't replicate this defense, then it's fun to see SK beating up Navi, but it won't have like any real bearing on future Cobblestone matches. If it can be replicated, then that's great. That makes this map very interesting again.
I think it's the depth of adaptation that we might see if SK can have it, right? It's very easy to, well, it's not easy, but it's something to look back over a demo and go, okay, well, these were clearly our points. Let's put him here, and let's see how it goes. It clearly works. But then it's like, okay, well, when that gets found out, which Navi eventually did, we saw the molly coming in, even though magic wasn't there, for example, and the other pieces slowly being worked out. Do they have something that adapts well to the rest of this strategy? Can they have a place to fall back to? That's when the longevity comes into a strategy and the real depth of it. But then again, this is the first time we're seeing SK not looking too shaky on this map. I think that no one's yet quite pushed them on the depth. Now they're on the T side, though. Last time we didn't get to see much of this, to be honest. And let's see what Navi can do on the CT side. You know, comebacks, you know, they can be a comeback team, Navi, but this is a bit of a task at hand. And now it's a 4-1 split. Again, very similar to what we saw coming out from Navi, actually, on their T side. And once again, it's been met with force. Modi, though, has found one. And he's found a second, actually, to boot, as Zeus does go down, but 3v3 now. Yeah,
Guardian with a really big flank. A Cillian going to be dropped, and Freeze and Modi, I mean, they're making their way out. They could go to the A-bomb side and at least get the bomb down, but they are still so low on health that I don't think it's going to be too easy for them to actually make it out of this round. But bomb plant is definitely better than nothing right now, and Freeze planning way out. There is a bit of an unusual plant. I'm wondering... All right, we'll get back to this about the plant in a bit. Modi going for the shot here, trying to see if he can make it work. Hits one more headshot. Freeze, though, alone and trapped in the corner of that bomb site, trying to see if he can actually maybe surprise them. Going to be jumping up the wall. He gets the one headshot in, and Freeze, very low health, but Flamey, oh, he hits the shot. And I'm wondering if the bomb... All right, it's out in the open. It's just that...
Is this like lessons with Anders again with bomb plant?
It's just that those rocks that are on the ground there, if you put the bomb down,
inside,
yes,
right,
you could put them inside. So I was just wondering if Freeze was trying to be like ultra next level, but
maybe he was just like, maybe they'll notice if I put it next to it. They'll be confused by what this glowing rock is. So it's not the case.
It's still one of the silliest things that could be done, but there are multiple maps where it can happen.
Yeah, it is a bit odd, but still. So all in all, let's remind ourselves that last time Navi on their T side didn't win the pistol either, but they did at least, you know, they didn't get a bomb plant. Now, SK have, and they're kind of foregoing this round to some extent. No armor seen here. They have got a Tech 9 and P250, so maybe at least trying to do some damage, get maybe some of these rifles away. Flamey, of course, upgrading to that, as is Guardian and Zeus as well. The two SMGs sat towards Cease and Edward there, but still, Zeus going to be on the jump-off point here, just waiting with that nade in hand, and if only he knew.
Yeah, he could bank it right into the wall. That would be good. I mean, Navi had a ridiculous comeback against Astralis, so why not go for a similar one here, and just an even better one actually. If they could do that from 14-1 into to a win, that would be impressive.
That really would. I think that would just destroy SK. Like, guys, you've done it. We finally worked out to play the CT side. But no. It's still very early, and I like this from SK. Just taking the time, just seeing if anyone pushes out, gets a little anxious. You can imagine Navi are pretty frustrated, and you know, frustration adds to making silly peaks sometimes if they're inexperienced. But then again, Navi are not inexperienced.
It's just hard to know what kind of mentality you're going to have to adopt if you're SK right now. Guardian here at the doorway sees a couple of people, and they realize now that it's going to be an A push, and backup is definitely showing up as well, so it should be just fine here for the Navi team. They do get a bit of a refrag in, Pimp taking out Seized, but Freeze will be the last man left. I mean, you could go into a half like this and think, let's just forget about whatever we did first half. If you're on the SK side, you say, let's just play this like it was a normal game. Don't think about the fact that we're 2 rounds away from winning. Or you could think, okay, we essentially have 15 rounds, out of which we just need 2. So let's just, like,
how many times can we, like, throw it at the wall and see if it sticks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, everyone knows that the last couple of rounds can be the hardest sometimes, right? Everyone can just get a little caught up on it. But I'm hoping SK don't have that issue. I'm hoping they can just move away from that. And again, this is risky from Navi not upgrading to anything. I don't think they've got great deals of money, but still, C's sitting on the SMG here, Edward as well. And SK going all rifles. All rifles, limited amount of utility, but still enough to build something from.
And it stands in contrast to what they were doing SK when they were on the CT side. They actually did get rid of all their SMGs. They wanted to make damn sure that they kept winning the rounds. And I mean, that was definitely a good early investment here for SK. Now NaVi playing a little bit differently. Nice boost coming up here from Flamey though. Magic spotting it out, but he goes down anyway. Crouches in to take the fight, and Flamey just holds down Mouse 1. That's going to be a good start at least here.
Well, Edward's going to be the one on the platform as well, just kind of holding that spot. He does this on occasion. He will be consistently playing up and down on this platform. And then again, if you want to take it into the kind of mindset of what we put towards Magic, they know that there's probably not going to be any mollies out to play here for SK, so he can play slightly closer angles. Vincere just spotting on the nade, seeing that that might be exactly where Guardian's going to be. And here we go, the crossfire comes in, allows no one to peek from the doorway, but Vincere, how far can he get? Nice little flash comes through, but the SMG from Seized still finds him. And again, I doubted him keeping this, but my God, has it paid off. And now just 2 left alive, and I don't know how much they can build from this. You still got Edward in this spot with his UMP, I guess. And now Moddy and Freeze are going to be looking at this like, what can we do? The crossfire's in play, and at least Moddy will find Edward, but Flamey closes down, and a good round from NaVi, and good to see the kills coming in towards Seized at least as well.
So what are we gonna make? Are you gonna make the call? If you mean, this is the thing. If we wait until it's like 14-10, then we, you know, it's obviously anyone who could say, yeah, maybe they'll make the comeback. If you do it now, Lauren, you've got a real chance.
I'm a genius.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah, but Reddit's only just started liking meanders. I can't start doing these sort of things. Give it like a week or so, and then maybe. You know, I think it's a little early in that. Like, okay, right. I haven't even seen Guardian with the AWP yet, which is kind of terrifying too. It
is a little bit, isn't it?
Because he's the guy who literally can do this.
Okay, I'll let you in on the secret about predictions in just a second. No, it's just a second. Guardian here with the UMP close. That's going to make a lot of money behind this. Look at that, 3rd kill coming in. Doesn't really even matter that he dies. It's really definitely a good job. It's going to make it 14-5. But the thing to do with predictions is to be ultra precise.
Oh, you do this all the time. Like when we take bets for like, when does Jason Kaplan show up for work? He goes down to like the 2nd, so...
Exactly, because if you're wrong, people will simply just remember that you're wrong. Whereas if you are right today, so you've got to be like, I think now we'll make the full comeback, and it will be, you know, Guardian dropping exactly 37 kills. So you've got to be something like where people are like, damn, how on earth, how could they know that?
I'm going 16-10. I'm just going out with it. Like, I'm saying it's closed out, and I reckon SK have this in the bag.
All right.
I'm going for it. I'm having faith.
All right. I like that. I think it's, you know...
I believe.
You've got to do it. Because people won't remember that someone was wrong about a prediction anymore. But if it's right, people will be like, wow, that's amazing.
But then again, NaVi are kind of doing exactly what SK did. We've got a player up on the platform. We've got, like, 4 players close here. NaVi are bringing out, like, well, if you want to kind of do this to us, we're going to do it back to you. So you better have something in mind. And to be fair, they are going towards, I guess, the right bomb site, if you want to put it that way. It's only Zeus. Now, you've got an easy rotate coming in as well. It's not going to be too far for them to push off from that drop spot. But SK building up nicely here. And the quickened pace that almost phased NaVi a hell of a lot there. And Zeus has already found Pimp, though. This is not going to make it easy. Smoke comes in, and now NaVi are in place.
Well, SK with a little bit of a hiccup then, but they're still getting some really good kills in it. It's now a 2-on-2. Zeus up looking at the wall there. He's very exposed. I have no idea. He's actually moving forward. It seems like an even better idea than standing on top of that roof and shooting. Zeus going to win the fight against Freeze, and Moddy goes down, and Guardian is going to pick up the last kill there. 6-14. And moving still closer right. I swear they threw a Molotov and a smoke both on the plateau, which doesn't make any sense because obviously only one of those is actually going to be useful at the time. So maybe some miscommunication.
A touch of it, but I don't know how you can let players get away with that as well, like pushing from the site where you've been spotted up on a plateau where you can be seen to literally fight someone like right. I don't get it. But anyway, Tech 9s, Deagles are plenty, and a lot of armor as well. So 2 smokes we put down, maybe going just for a quick B hit, but these 4 players here from NaVi are having a great time, and as Zeus just gets a little bit anxious, gets a little bit curious, he's going to find out there's absolutely no one over by edge. So the smoke comes out, they'll just go through the wall. This is a really nice little smoke as well. You can just work on the edge of it.
I do worry about, I mean, Zeus surely should just be playing to spot if anyone is coming A so he could call for backup.
Correct.
He's playing so far forward right now that if there was someone up there with a Deagle to take him down, then the rotation, look how far they are.
Yeah,
they're not even dropped. They're actually all the way in the bomb side or further on. But it looks like they made the right call, NaVi, because SK are challenging this position, and it's not going to be a fun time at all for them.
No, it's certainly not. But they might just work out that there is a massive stack here. You've seen that Flamey Seized and Guardian with Edward have now got kills on that site. You've got to be wondering, why are they putting 4 players here this early? We didn't show any of our hand. Like, maybe, okay, someone pushed out the A site, but still, it's got to be working through their minds here. Like, how do we make sure that they don't start reading our game plan super early or getting everything correct? Or are they just stacking, which is exactly what they're doing? So here we go. This is a big round now. 14-7, all back onto Freeze. You've got everything you need. You've got Molly's out to play as well. But then again, now they switch up NaVi. They've got 2 players here. Guardian's now the one to be making the peaks. He's looking to find Freeze, and actually Freeze is up there as well. But Vicilian's a little closer. Nice bit of a tag, going to force Guardian to back away a little bit. And again, gets another one through. Not much damage done, but enough to ward Guardian off.
Well, I was going to say, it's a game that Cillian really shouldn't play because that AK only does like 3 damage every shot through the doorway, whereas Guardian's AWP will put him down to like 30 health or something like that. So that maybe not be entirely worth it, but he does get the better trade, so why not? Still got so much time left, and Edward up on the plateau. They do have Molotovs if they wanted to clear out this position. So he can't be completely safe here, and the backup is still a little bit distance away. This is the sort of setup that I really am not sure I prefer on this particular map, because if Edward goes down, I don't see how NaVi can very easily get back in the round, and actually it's even worse. They're Seized and Flamey both getting down and dropping. Now everything is on Edward here, trying to put out the grenade. It's caught by a Cillian, and it all crumbles.
Off the back of 2 kills, basically. And as you said, Edward could have maybe been a linchpin, but timing, he just got caught out with that molly. Now the bomb's going down. Edward is actually looking for this as well. Zeus is around the back, so his position is noted, but would they expect Guardian and drop? Have they heard him? We're going to find out very soon. Flash is going to come over, maybe helping Guardian on a push out if he wants to, but Zeus using it to see if there's anyone on that platform, but that bomb is ticking. Now Guardian is down. There's a player just to his left. He's going to check it, but Magic says no. And now suddenly Zeus left in the 1v4. We are seeing SK Gaming bringing a lot of fire to this. 15-7 now. One more round and they got it in the bag. Now, I'm so impressed by that. Like, they just won out the fights. I don't think it was like anything super tactically ingenious. Pimp, nice play with Magic then just to make sure he didn't get, traded out ineffectively. Edward gets caught out. And then suddenly you got the 2 players who were actually playing A that time, just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
But if we just continue from Edward's position there, I mean, even if he has the rifle out and he wins the first fight, they're coming in from drop to kill him anyway. So, I mean, either way, he's fighting 5 people on the plateau without any possible cover. So it just isn't really possible. Another battle going back and forth, and again, Guardian coming out with actually a much less health than you'd expect here. So it seems like it's worth it for them to shoot through that doorway after all. 8 straight map points here for SK to finish this game.
And if Magic's doing that, it's probably not going to go so well. Already finding Seized and opening up opportunities. Now, does NaVi read into this? Do they pull players back? They're going to have to police 1 back. And SK look like they're still going for it as well. Magic on the verge there with Pimp as well, making their presence begin to form towards Drop. 2 players, however, holding the platform push and 1 holding the window. So kind of negating what Drop can do, is just hoping these guys can stay alive long enough without the push coming out from Drop. Now, 55 seconds left, and there's still a lot of time here for SK.
So much time, and NaVi aren't taking any risks to try and figure out what's going on either. Magic with a good return there. Cillian going down. Flamey, he's got nothing that he could do. I mean, Cillian getting the kill on Edward. Sue's going to be last man left. He gets dropped, and that's Magic picking up a quad kill to finish it in a matter of seconds. And NaVi are going to get wrecked by SK on Cobblestone. What an incredible way to finish this game, and what an incredible game overall.
This is phenomenal, and I'm so glad we got to see the difference a couple of days or a couple of hours can make to these guys. As SK before looked shoddy, they looked a little bit off game. They got absolutely trounced on this against NaVi. Now they come out against NaVi, and you can see that they put in work, they put in the time, they put in looking through the demos, going through the errors, and they've come out and just beaten one of arguably the better teams on this map.
Really do think NaVi fighting as far back as they were on the bottom side were at least part of it. What we are going to do is obviously go to break, and then we'll have the next map up, and then we'll have the analysis of everything. So I hope that we can get some insight as well.
Yeah,
that could be interesting. But really, really well done, SK. Super impressed, super happy. I'm going to go back and look at that demo a couple of times because it's been killing me watching CT's Cobblestone. It's the first time in a long time I felt like that was a good time. So
I agree. So the thing is now, can SK do the double? Can they do the dirty work? They've got another tough one on the way. It's going to be Train coming up next. Now, if they manage this one, I don't know what's happening today, but then again, it is one of NaVi's greatest maps to lock people down on. So guys, do stay tuned. We'll be back after a very short break.
Teams, and I can't even remember who they were, but they lost to them in the group stage for absolutely no reason. But yeah, this should be a NaVi win. Although, if it isn't, it also goes to show you that maybe this SK team is not just about sort of the random upsets, but that they actually got a bit more to show us, which you definitely hope. It'd be very exciting. We know that they've got some real good talent in this team.
Well, SK again winning the knife. Gonna be curious to see what side they go for now, considering last time it was a point of, let's say, issue. They're running the gauntlet. Okay, this is the brave thing here, because I guess there is no easier side, let's say. There's no easy way to come into this, because NaVi are one of the best teams on this T side on Train. Classically. Maybe outside of today. This is going to be a very telling sign, considering they win a lot of these rounds. They are extremely competent at it. We're going to see how much SK can bring into this. It looks like the standardized B hit almost from NaVi, unless that Molly's got another place to be put down. It normally is just covering off that bomb for C sitting up top. But it's only a Cillian here at the moment, so he's going to have a lot of action coming his way. He's going to hear those steps coming, and he's going to have to deal with the NaVi track.
Oh, and this is so difficult, isn't it? They're already just trying to run him down. There is a smoke on Magic, and that's going to be at least significant a little bit if they can try and get back in here and maybe defuse the bomb. But it's not even going to go down. As Cillian doing such a good job preventing that bomb plant, buying more time for his team, but he will be dropped eventually. Flamey picking up a double kill, and now Muddy is all alone, and the bomb is down. And look at how many angles he has to check. This is one of those things where I almost wish, if you're going to try and clutch this, just run for it. Just go ham. Because slowing it down like this, almost impossible. He tries his best, ends up getting dropped, and NaVi off to a good start.
Yeah, NaVi doing well. I'm kind of curious about that Molly, though. It went down on ramp?
Yes, I actually assumed that they were going to use it for the afterplant. So
yeah.
I am a bit confused
I don't know if that was like a misclick or something. I have no idea, because I have no clue why I would go on ramp out of anything, really.
It could have been that they were trying to throw it into C connector, and then
maybe
someone stepped in front of it.
And it just kind of blocked it. Yeah, there's a chance on that one. But now let's look at what SK are bringing into this. We've got 2 CZs, 157, 1 P250, and a scout on a Cillian. And again, NaVi just going to walk through. That looked like it was pretty darn close, to be fair. A Cillian, though, going to have to back out of it again. And it's not an all-in play from NaVi. They still have one player kind of trailing behind, maybe keeping some presence towards A, which is going to be seized. So NaVi hedging their bets a little bit more this time, not allowing a stack to come towards that B site, even though the bomb is by the halls.
And Edward just going to be walking down, not afraid to walk into the scout, which is not even here anymore. So this is a really good play from NaVi. Just checking out the bomb site. The Cillian is now going to find out that maybe he should have stuck around. Edward with the long-range double headshot. Magic and Muddy left, not really a lot to do. Might as well save these weapons.
Yeah, especially with the armor there on Muddy as well. Magic having a little to work with. Muddy's just going to tuck himself away up in here. In the nice little new office. Is there 2 phones on that desk? Did I just see that?
There are 2, and they're differently colored as well.
Why? I think there's like an emergency phone just for like,
Well, one of them is red, right? So that definitely indicate that maybe that's what's going on here.
I haven't looked around this map clearly enough, like just at the small little things on it.
I think Semler and I had like a huge run through where we would there's some like mice and keyboard as well that look like some ancient stuff. It's all good.
I do like the small little pieces on towards maps sometimes, but still, we can see Magic and Muddy both staying alive. No one from NaVi really coming all that close anyway. And there we have it. So going to the next one, Guardian's actually got the scout himself, so that's going to be back into practice for them. And I don't see too much coming through for SK in this one. Maybe just supplementing with a couple more CZs or a small upgrade. Maybe for Freeze on the pistol. Might just want to negate it completely, considering you might have to run in with the AWP pretty soon. And then again, you know, what more can you do? Guardian's also kind of abstaining from this round as well with the Deagle just coming out for himself. So, at the moment, let's see what NaVi bring here. It looks like another touch of a variation as well, not going for the same thing twice. And sadly for SK, they kind of hoped they were.
Yeah, but I mean, this is I still like the play from SK. My only gripe with this is that they don't have a flashbang. But imagine if they did, and NaVi walks down. Think about how far they go into the B bomb site before they see anyone. Once they do, the flash comes out. Who knows what happens? The fact that it doesn't work, I don't think is evidence that this is not a good idea. What SK just did. This was a gamble.
Yep.
But would it really have made a difference if they had gone for like a 3-man A 2B stack instead? That I don't think is a superior setup anyway. So.
No, I agree. I think you might as well give it a go, right? You might as well try it out. You're not going to get much done otherwise. Magic will at least find Zeus. That's going to be a possible upgrade for him towards the Galil. Molly though, trying to find something. Magic's found Seized as well. They're making it mildly expensive considering there were a couple of rifles out earlier on, but Molly's now going to try and do just the same thing. Guardian's the one there though this time, and the Deagle is put perfectly to play. So only Magic going to get away with this one. Those guns, however, will be saved. Flamey and Edward keeping hold of the AKs. Guardian still on the Deagle as he started, but you can see the money is strong for NaVi here, especially Guardian, already on that lovely round marker there for himself. And pretty much bomb plants are plenty for NaVi.
They're going to drop the Galil, in fact, to Asilian instead, and that means they're going to have so much money to use on grenades early on here. Freeze with the AWP, of course, and Guardian on the other team. And now we need to see SK step into it strong here. They came off a big victory on Cobblestone. They should still be fired up. I mean, losing the pistol round, I don't think it will bring you that far down. You know, it's just a bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world here. Sue's taking a bit of damage from that Galil spray, and NaVi still playing a very slow style here, which I think is fine. That is their MO, but I do want to see if they can switch it up, which they seem to not really be able to on Cobblestone.
To be fair, though, this B-side could be... an issue is a strong word for SK, I guess, but then again, Asilian was pretty quiet, and as was Freeze on the first map. Asilian played his role, but it's not the heavy hitting role. Then again, you look at Virtus.pro, it's Taz who plays B. It's not always necessarily the big heavy hitters, but then again, you might need them when NaVi are consistently trying to play this site, and already Seized has found Asilian, and now we're down to 4. Freeze missing again, gets punished by Seized, and that B site is all theirs. You've got a quick rotate though from SK, and by this point, NaVi are already well embedded into this site, as you can see Pimp and Modi, the last... Okay. They weren't even close!
Guardian, I wish we could see that on slow motion. He took a shot, but was it through the smoke, or did he actually...
I don't know. Where can we see where the body... Actually, no, they're still trying to get the guns away.
Edward's all the way towards CT spawn. He ran in after Pimp. So he died in that little hallway.
Guardian, why?
That's so brutal, isn't it?
It's just cruelty. Guardian was probably like, I'm not happy with your performance thus far. Enjoy.
Maybe he gave the command, like, don't chase them, and then Edward's like, I'm gonna chase them, and Guy was like, no. Not this time.
The most brutal form of punishment. Just like, no. Anyway, Modi might be challenged down. No. Okay, I don't know. I don't know.
But it would have been Guardian getting the command anyway. It would have been Starix, like, take him out.
Just like putting a hit on his head,
Yeah.
just like...
I've got a clear shot. Take him out. Stun.
It's done. 4-0. And as you said, though, this is going to be a problem for SK if they can't work out how to stop NaVi here, because you don't want to get NaVi getting confident again, getting happy and back settled into this, even if they're killing each other, and especially when they're playing well on this T side already.
Well, think about how great it is for NaVi. They kill Asilian on the corner, and they can just go. That's easy for them to try and take that fight early on. Great shot from Guardian there. Muddy to get the kill first on, but now he's just forcing them back out in this courtyard, and the rest of NaVi, can they actually make it out here as well? I'm a bit disappointed no one is pushing Ivy right now. Seized is down there, but he needs to take this fight. Edward going to be going down. Seized falls to Muddy, and now all the work that Guardian has done to create space out here is not going to be used for anything.
And Guardian almost was like sat there waiting for someone to do something else. He was actually pushed out of A main. He was out there waiting for someone else to try and create some, not necessarily a distraction, but to pull players elsewhere. Now Zeus is trying to find an angle. Not going to get a chance that Pimp had already pushed up by Train 1, and now Guardian's left again, all alone. Now he knows Asilian's still standing. No one got killed by Asilian or even touched by Asilian, so you could maybe assume that he's still on this B site. Guardian's checking ever so carefully. But how much can he do here? Got the Deagle as well. A couple of flashes, 40 seconds. Might be able to get a plant out of this. He's going to have the drop onto at least Asilian there. So going to go in for the plant. Puts it on towards the backside of things. If he can get up towards upper, maybe there's a chance he could get an angle on that. But it's a brave thing to go for, and he is being flanked.
Yes, he is. So the timing here is going to be everything. Guardian making his way back down, hitting the shot on Magic, turning around with a deagle in hand, looking for it. Pimp. Oh, he's going to get the headshot too, and now it's a quad kill. He needs one more for the ace clutch here. Flash in one. Guardian, he sees Muddy down there as well, and Muddy's on the bomb. Guardian, oh no, he's going to get shot in the face, and Muddy, he'll have enough time for the defuse as well. What an upset. That would have been a beautiful clutch from Guardian. It shows you just how dangerous he is.
That would have been the perfect ace for me. Taking the singular site himself, not only getting the opener. So let's move that one out of the way. He got a big frag on A, but then taking away from that in that 1v4, basically, it's the audacity to go for this peak. He knew they'd be pushing in. This follow-up is just ridiculous aim skills. Like, no one can do that sort of stuff. But it's that quick flick towards, peeking out connector, knowing he had to catch one, bring in the odds, otherwise you get that double peek on the side coming through. Now, eventually, Molly does hit a beautiful shot there towards Guardian, who just stayed a little out too long. He could have let it a touch longer, but still. Just the mental game that Guardian brings is insane. And
Guardian probably did not know that Muddy didn't have a kit. Because if he had known that, he could have played that game forever and ever. So that's one of those things where it's hard to get that information. Obviously, it shows on the model, but you have to be some sort of genius to be able to see that.
Pinpoint it out,
Yeah, so, what a shame. Well, Muddy goes down early on here, and NaVi off to a good start in the 6th round. From SK's point of view, this is a round that they just cannot lose. This is exactly what they did to NaVi on Cobblestone. It's just every time the one time they would win a round, they would instantly reset it. So, got to make sure this time that doesn't happen. Magic picking up a couple of good kills, going for a bit more here on Zeus. He's got great instincts as well, picking up a triple kill, and now he's looking for Guardian as well, and it looks like it might be the quad kill here. Pistols out. It's going to be Pimp actually picking up the shot, coming in from the other angle, and that'll be Freeze to finish the round. Plenty of time for the defuse, and a great triple kill for Magic.
Big difference maker. Again, it's like maybe SK need to look at... I hate saying it, but, finding a new way to control B, because so far, there's been a touch of attention from NaVi towards A occasionally, like at the very start of the game. If they find an opportunity, sure, they'll run with it. But...
I'm just reading our set, don't worry.
He just found a bit of branding and just, started to peel it off, goodbye. Farewell, desk. But no, it's like... For me, I'd really like them to find a way to supplement that B site a little bit better for SK. I'm thinking the Freeze is...
trying to get these fishermen,
No one has any idea what you're talking about.
Do
you fisherman's friend, not just fisherman?
Do you call them fishermen? We just call them fishermen's, don't we? I don't know.
No one. Everyone just thinks you're really into fishermen now. It's a fine. At least you have a fetish, you've got to have something, right?
it's the overalls that do it.
The yellow ones, just in the little hat they have.
Exactly.
What you wouldn't do for that?
I don't know. I want to continue, but at the same time, I don't.
Yeah, I think there's a limit. It's still the second map of the day. By the last one, you can go ahead, but by now...
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Well, look, we've got, again, a very, very slow round from NaVi here. I do think this map caters, or at least it rewards CT aggression on the A-bomb site. If you're really fast, not CT, sorry, T aggression. Now, if you're really, really fast, you rush out there, you can sometimes catch the CT side off guard. So I don't mind the NaVi is slow. I mean, they've been doing fine so far, but at some point, and this is something that I always worry about, I do want to see a different kind of setup for them. They're obviously going to go for the full smoke on the A-bomb side, but the question is if they're going to commit to it. The bomb is in Pop Dog, and it looks like they are going to try and see if they can make it out there.
Smokes have gone down. Now, Magic's kind of cut off from being able to have freedom, but he's still got a little bit of a peek by Train 1, but he's going to find Guardian. That's a massive pickup. Last time, Guardian was a massive factor in getting this done, but the bomb is going down. Zeus hasn't been uncovered yet in that smoke, so bomb now planted. Flame has picked up the ult, found Freeze, but Magic's still doing exactly what his name says. Absolute magic for SK. Asilian watches the push out, finds Zeus, and now just two standing for NaVi, but that bomb's in a precarious spot here.
Good job on Pimp, and C's going to be going down as well. It's a really almost a full team effort there. Magic picking up a double kill. Defuse going to be coming in. NaVi at least getting a bomb plant, which is helpful. But still might not be quite enough. And Zeus hasn't killed anyone yet. He's at 0-0 and 5.
Not great for him. Very quiet game. But this is the thing. So far, SK have been doing really well at kind of keeping hold of the A site. At least to my eyes, they've been holding it, especially if there's not that early presence that you noted earlier. If NaVi make that earlier, quicker kind of play, then it's a little harder to handle unless they can shut down Guardian, right? But if they go for that slow play, they've been doing really well at dealing with it once it's that default setup with the smokes coming through. But Guardian this time going to take himself down towards Ivy. No one's been pushing out of this for SK, really. It's been quite a tentative place. They haven't really wanted to get too much presence there, but it is going to be doubled up. So C's can always bait out the shot on that one, but still, they hold the angle, but the smokes come in, and that's going to be there for a little bit of time. I think they might actually go... Are they going to go for a boost on this, or are they just going to walk through? They are going to boost up. Okay, so Guardian does at least have some control there, but while this happens, it looks like another slow-ish round for NaVi.
With the bomb all the way back as well, so yeah, they could spend a lot of time doing this, and nobody from SK is actually trying to find anything out either.
Well, it's such a hard situation to be in, right? Because on the CT side, you're desperate for this information. You're so ready and willing to try and go and find it, but then you've got to sit there and think, how many angles are these guys holding? If I walk around this corner, is Flamey going to be there? It's like, is it worth me going and try and find that information, or am I just going to get picked off? It's a mental decision that these guys will have to make at some point, because otherwise they're going to be sitting there trying to hold on to the best time. They've still got a couple of their flashes and nades and mollies, so at least they've got that going for them on SK. And to be fair, NaVi is starting to dwindle in there, so there's... Oh, that's not a good Guardian. He's still trying to work off the back of it. As Magic is on the ladder on the other side of train 1 there. So, a couple of flashes coming through. Guardian's going to start looking out. Flamey as well, showing his hand here, but the bomb is on the move. 20 seconds, though. That's such a low bit of time here.
Yeah, they need to go so quick, and Magic picking up one mod. He will go down in return, but NaVi, they're swiftly running out of time here. Freeze shutting down Zeus as well. Second kill raining in here for the AWP player, and C's just going to be dropping, so now it's a 1-on-2. But the problem again, 10 seconds here. Flamey actually will get the plant thanks to that Molotov. He's faking it once, but surely he should know that they can't make their way through. Now he's in a very bad spot. He hits a headshot, and I don't think he'll have time. He can't win the round. That Molotov bought him time, and then he somehow managed to not use that time, which is a real shame. And Pimp is going to be going down. At least Flamey lives for the round. What a strange round this was.
I don't know what they were waiting on either. Guardian, I guess, went for a little bit of a pick down by Ivy. Didn't really get much.
Yeah.
Came back to main. Didn't find too much. Flamey came out as well then, but it was just like, I didn't see them finding anything off the back of that.
I think what's great about the flashbang is how long you spent setting it up before it eventually failed.
You find like such happiness in people's failure.
Really focus on it, you know.
You can't be good at everything, Anders. If you're Guardian who can like beast mode rounds by yourself.
You know that meme gif with the guy with the numbers in front of his face where it's like, you know...
Oh,
like
the calculation thing, yeah.
It's what we need for Guardians. Like, how does it work? I got it.
Bam!
No.
No. Oh,
It's just not working.
it's really not. But a faster play going out, and this is to the side that's generally been working. But Pimp's here this time, so that is an adjustment. And he's still here. How the hell hasn't he been checked yet? But there we go. Zeus finally checks it out. But it's a Cillian on the side. He's going to be surrounded. Suddenly, Edward just peers out from nowhere. And now into 3v4. This is actually looking good for NaVi.
Yes, it definitely is. Freeze down the long lane here on the left-hand side of the bomb site, trying to see if they can make it work. There is also a potential for a flank coming in. Freeze will find the opening frag, so now we're into a 3-on-3. There's not going to be a flank from the NaVi side. Another kill comes through from Freeze. He's doing a very good job at the moment. Flamey and Zeus, they're up there, but look at this. There's a Molotov just put up by Magic. There's another smoke by Freeze here. This is not going to be so easy for them to stop the defuse if they try and come through. And actually, they smoke the bomb instead of upper as well, so now things get very tricky. Freeze is the one who has the kit, so he's going to have to be in that smoke right at the edge of it as well. Flamey upstairs. They're not shooting through yet, and the defuse is going to come through. Zeus goes down as well, and that's going to be a round for SK. A full-on retake, and ironically, you know, Mr. 007 there with license to kill actually hasn't killed anybody at all.
James Bonding.
It's very sad.
Oh, Zeus. You gotta feel for people who do that. You're just like, I hope no one presses tab anytime soon. Just please don't. Like, maybe he's been doing some really nice smokes and mollies, you know? He's been really supporting the team with his
Yeah, at the risk of offending Zeus, I feel like if Zeus was a 00 agent, he would be like the Daniel Craig type, you know, 00 agent.
What are you trying to imply?
Kicking indoors and blowing stuff up. Less sophisticated is what I'm trying to say.
I don't like to insult anyone from the CIS region because it's normally terrifying, but you're a brave man, Anders. So, let you crack on with that one. But so far, NaVi, going back to what didn't work last time almost, that sounds very negative, but that sounds super negative. But it's more the presence on Ivy, but this time it's going to be Seized on Flamey rather than, I believe it was Seized on Guardian last time. I may be incorrect,
yes.
But still, this time, let's see if they can do any better with it. See if they can find off the back of it something working out. And again, boost comes in. And again, the CT side actually holding a little bit more presence. Guardian peering up and over. Now, you were a big advocate for that sort of boost very early on into the iteration of Train with the smoke that can be put down very, very close by that you can just about see over.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of cool things that can still be done from this pop dog area, but Molotov is going to clear it out just a little bit, and SK are really not showing themselves a lot anywhere. I mean, the place where they seem to be able to mostly force the fights here, from NaVi's point of view, is in B-bomb site, like right on that edge where Cillian was playing early on. Freeze going to pick up the kill on Guardian as well, and that makes things very tricky. Magic and Pimp and everybody chiming in. A great round from Freeze. Triple kill for him. Playing close with the AWP as well. How hard is that to predict, I mean, if you're on the NaVi side?
And I quite liked it, though, because he was slightly up on the train itself. He wasn't actually on the ground, so you can't quite see it either. So he was kind of blocking off at least a little bit of pop, and he could just focus on main. But that's terrifying, because, like, 2 players come through, you're kind of screwed. As simple as that, or you just get outnumbered by people going through pop. But great stuff from him, considering he was a very quiet player on the prior map. This is brilliant from him. So he takes the fight there. Now, bearing in mind, there could have been a player coming through main at any point, but he had the faith in maybe someone just watching that for him. But perfect timing from Freeze, just really, really working out. Love that from him. Good to see him actually starting to find his form here, because considering he was very quiet, but then again, Yanko did point out that even though he was quiet, he was still picking up important kills, whether it be entries or in the gun rounds. They're still important, but still. Pause coming out, and NaVi's T-side not being as historically strong as maybe expected. At least to me.
No, but it was looking so good early on. I mean,
yeah.
I think it's because so many of the rounds they won, they just sort of walked into B and there was no contest, right? They kill a Cillian on the ramp and then they go. Then SK can't do anything to make it back in the round. But now things have changed a bit. And I gotta wonder what NaVi, if this is a tactical pause from NaVi, it'd be interesting to see if they can switch it up. Don't think it's gonna be this round. I mean, this round is sort of the round where you maybe want to go for like Tech 9 armor on. I think Guardian buying a Deagle already. The rest could go Tech 9 armor, and they'd be able to afford the next round anyway. I still think it's great to see NaVi play slow, but I wish sometimes they had it in them to switch it up.
Switch, yeah.
The only thing is
that they don't. There's not many teams who don't.
The thing is, if you make that switch right after a tactical pause, that's obviously a little bit obvious as well. I mean, if I was on the CT side here, the first thing I'd call is say, please grenade all the entrances.
Just chill, yeah.
Yeah, throw all the grenades, because
it's such a high chance on just to try and throw it out there.
Yeah.
Just like, screw it. We're probably not gonna do much with this round, but let's just try and maybe get a couple of kills. At best, get a plant in. But still, we're gonna see the molly on Guardian this time. That's a little bit different. So all trying to keep themselves above 2k, but we do have the drop below for 1.8 onto Zeus and Edward. So I'm curious as to where this goes. That's a lot of smokes actually. They're probably not gonna go for the quick play, considering it is NaVi. But I'm wondering where they're going to try and push his play down to.
And it was tactical pause from NaVi is what we're hearing, so we'll see what they can come up with here. There's definitely a good chance for a bomb plant in this particular round. With all the smokes going down and the Molotov to follow up, maybe they could force a couple of players back. Molotov going in as well. And the bomb coming out of Pop Dog. Magic out here, though, going to be shutting down Flamey. So off to a good start once again. But Zeus, he's in the smoke, putting the bomb down and seized. Going to be going down. It doesn't seem like NaVi are able to hold on to the round, but just getting the bomb plant still going to help out a bit. Nice shot from Guardian to take out Muddy. And SK being very careful with the retake here, making sure they're all grouped up. Guardian will be going down as well, and now it's all on Zeus. He needs to get a kill at some point in this game. He's at 0 and 9 right now, as SK make it to a 7th round.
Don't press tab rush, that's just mean. Stop it.
If you're going to do something like this, you've got to follow through. Get no kills at all of the rounds.
Just like make your point. You know what I mean? Just go for it. But I kind of saw what they're trying to do there with Observer Rush. Guys, do make sure you give your feedback as well for Rush. He is still relatively new to this. So if you think he's absolutely awful, tweet him as such, or use the hashtag ESL Pro League. All appreciated. However, outside that, I like the kind of late split down Ivy from C's trying to catch up. Maybe Moddy opened that up, but Moddy just turned around and found him. But this is a little bit different as well. Guardian's starting to look towards maybe B if they can find an early opening. But the counter boost, actually, considering how much NaVi have been putting strain towards this, SK are actually responding, which is actually kind of dangerous considering they've not really lost this at any point.
Seized and Flamey, they're out there and they're taking a lot of damage. There is a kill coming through. And I am wondering if there'd just been one more person here, it would have been great. You could see Seized is a bit paranoid. He's thinking, well, someone must have surely boosted it up there, and maybe that person is still in the corner, which is obviously not the case right now. A bit of a shot from Magic actually taking down Guardian, and that was a good kill for them. Now it's a man advantage once again for SK, and NaVi, they need more than 4 rounds in this first half, and they normally do get that.
For their standard, especially now. Freeze. Oh, just gets outdone by C's then. That was lovely. Now Magic instantly turns around, expecting maybe a bit of a presence, but Pimp's holding the cross, so fluffs up the spray as well completely. C's is having a whale of a time, but then when you've got Zeus with you, I guess you kind of have to, because Zeus again gets found. Zeus is having an awful time. He had all the utility, everything he could have maybe done to affect this situation, but now C's is on his own. He's got to define this into 2 individual 1v1s. collect that bomb. Now, actually, Magic's pretty low, but Magic can play the time here, and sadly that nade just isn't going to go to the right place, but a couple of steps here and there might just give away the game. Seized is cautiously looking to the side, but now he's in between a rock and a hard place, quite literally, and there's Magic around the back, doing, again, brilliant stuff. 4 kills for him that round.
Up to 19, 1, and 4 right now as Magic.
Has he just been killing Zeus the whole time?
This seems like it, doesn't it? 0, 0, and 10.
Ouch. Can you show average damage per round? See if Zeus is doing anything on that? No, press takedown tab. Q.
It'd be great, wouldn't it, if his average damage per round was like 300, but it's spread across like 5 players, so like he never actually kills anybody.
Total damage dealt. Zeus. Go.
Oh no.
That's not great.
So he's essentially almost hit nobody for the first 9 rounds.
Average damage per round. I'm trying to find a silver lining here, and I've just made it a lot worse.
Average damage per round is 18. Does it count teammates?
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Big comparison. There we go. Stop it now. Stop it now. I think StarX is just
quite
out
10
the game.
times as much, but it's not far off either.
It's not a good time for Zeus. Like, I feel for this guy as well, because you sit there and you just get so annoyed with yourself as well. Because you're like, I'm so desperate for a kill. You kind of make stupid choices sometimes as well. You'll take maybe a fight you really shouldn't have to, just because you're like, I need to make up for this. I really do. But
you know what it is?
poor guy. What is it, Anders?
It's
and you touch your fisherman's friend.
Exactly right. It's karma for filming us drunk at the after parties.
To be fair, that is such a scumbaggy thing. Like, I think it was ESL as well. Did it once at, like, I think it was one of the after parties, and they had pictures or something. I was like, guys, don't ever do that again.
I think at ESWC in Montreal, they had like a drone flying around the after party filming.
That's kind of cool, but it's also very intrusive if someone like pauses it at one point. Everything comes crumbling down.
Yeah. Really strange things happen in those after parties. I feel like
it's a bit weird.
It's better if it doesn't get leaked always.
For your sake, predominantly.
I mean, obviously.
I'm just saying this.
Obviously, I don't partake in any of these things.
Of course, you're a good boy, aren't you?
I just
Go back
show
home.
up and drink club soda. So I don't know, but for everyone
Club
else's
soda's
point
got
of view,
real strong these days, apparently.
I feel like it's a bit much, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm in the same boat as you. Don't worry, but we are back underway.
Anyway, Sue's just having a really dreadful day, and that's unfortunate. Great grenade! Oh my god! A Cillian dunking 3 players with that grenade. And now they're trying to see if they get any of the Molotov as well. Pimp lining it up and getting a double kill. What a horrendous way for NaVi to start the round, and I don't even know how that happens. A Cillian looking to finally get a kill himself, and it's going to be Freeze actually stealing it away. Guardian very nearly falling, actually Flamey very nearly falling to his death then. And Guardian just trying to make it out, but doesn't seem like that's going to be possible either. Runs right into Muddy. What's Zeus at now?
He didn't get a kill, don't worry. We will love the day he gets a kill. He's going straight in on the armor. He's going straight Khalil, like, screw it. I need help. Oh,
I wonder in CS history if there has ever been anyone playing like a full half without killing anyone at all.
A full half.
Like, let's say.
There's got to be, like.
Well, obviously, like, but
at,
I'm
like,
talking
pro
about
level?
in the top, in like the top 10 teams or something like
Alright,
that.
can we have a round with Zeus, please? Can we just, like, stay with Zeus? I don't care if someone else gets an ace. I will take the no, Zeus. Zeus.
Just specking. Rush is not going to.
Rush! Spec Zeus. Nice. Nice. Alright, Zeus, let's see what you got here. Like, I know that other things will be happening. I just have to believe that Zeus at one point in this game will.
Well, you're putting all the pressure on him here. He's got the Galil. He's going. Oh. Walks right into a Cillian. It's just not working out, is it?
He's having such a bad day. I feel so bad for him as well, because it must be so frustrating. But anyway, 3v3 now. I'm going to stop picking on people. And Guardian sees some Flamey having to do the heavy lifting at this point here as the two of them do start making their way through. Ivy, it's to be Pimp on the other side, but whose foot will show first, basically, is Pimp, who does actually get the shot off. But I'm not sure if he expects Flamey to be there as well. Certainly didn't. Flamey's going to find Pimp, but down to 9 HP. Surely this can't be done.
SK Gaming showing some really good resolve in this particular series. Magic seems to be able to not do anything but get double kills. That's all he ever does. 0, 0, and 12. I don't even know if the MI6 even has agents that like go that high. I don't think it's even possible.
It's a real shame. I hope he does better really, really soon. He's got the UMP now, so clearly very... He misses the window as well, which is probably not a good sign.
I really feel like for consistency, we need him to not get a kill in the whole half here. I feel like if he gets the kill in the 15th round, it'll somehow ruin what we've been building up to here, though. Freeze going down, Guardian with a good, strong shot. Let's see if NaVi can at least pick up a 5th round here. They do need it desperately. And they got Zeus pitched up quite aggressively here against Modi. Oh, yes! That's the kill! Picking up one and goes down to Magic. It's better than nothing, definitely.
Silver lining, guys. Silver lining. 3v3 now. Finally, he's off the starting blocks. But Asilian already finding this round a little bit out of whack there as he does take down Edward. But 2v2, even trading coming up. The bomb so far away still. But then again, there's a lot of time on the board. There's not much to be done here. Good flash does push a Flamey back, but I don't think Pimp saw this. He might do now, but you don't want to challenge Flamey like that. Just peeking out on him. A little bit needless, but now Asilian kind of in between the two, so he could actually hold the cross on this. He knows they're not in main anymore. He's going to find Flamey. Now, what does that indicate as to where that last player is? He's got to know Guardian's over on this side already. Guardian's going to know where he is, and I think he just caught a glimpse of him. He goes actually back in on the peak, but already Asilian's crossed the site. He needs to stop making noise very, very quickly, because Guardian's on the hunt.
I mean, it shows you a bit of the confidence on Guardian to go back for that one, because he's one bullet away from death here from the AK. So it's, you know, maybe a lot of players would have thought, I'd better, like, not try and challenge that. Works out just fine for him so far. The thing is, Asilian does have Molotov, Smoke, and HE, and especially that HE grenade could be a bit scary for Guardian if he ends up him missing a shot, then maybe Asilian could just take him out straight away. Sneaking away around the back of the trainer. He's got the grenade selected, Asilian, but he's not going to actually toss it anywhere. Going to be a smoke instead, which will make life very hard for Guardian. He has to get back in here. He can't get the shot through. The trainer's blocking him. He can't see it, and that's going to be 11-4 here. And Asilian with a really, really good finish to the half. And overall, SK just showing us, some real mental fortitude.
Yeah, and to be fair, I remember, I think it was NaVi against, I think it was TSM at the time, but the one thing that always made me impressed with NaVi was their T side, that then they never really had to do much on their CT on train, because they were like, well, we're always up on this. We can just kind of coast a little. We don't need to be out of our mind good at it. And I remember Astralis were the one team who kind of stopped them being insanely good on that T side for a little while, but they got it back eventually. It was like one game, I think, that actually happened. But then we saw NaVi actually not being that good on the CT side. Now, I don't know if they've obviously changed since then. They've probably been able to adjust, make a lot of changes, or at least get better at it. But I'm wondering if this is going to actually come into play, because this is a CT-sided map. It does generally work in that favor, at least in my eyes. I think NaVi are just extraordinarily good at what they do. So I'm really interested to see actually if NaVi get pushed a little bit here, because in theory, a team could happily come back from this. Not maybe not happily, but you can easily turn this around with the right amount of pistols coming your way, maybe turn that first gun round. But I don't know. I'm kind of curious if this is going to be a real demise for NaVi, because, you know, for all the people who sat there at home like, okay, well, it was Cobble, right? So I guess SK just went home, looked over the demos, and adjusted. That's just what they did, and cool, it worked out. But now you've got to be looking at this like, how much work did SK put in? Because they've kind of this playing a great game, or on the other side of the coin, is NaVi just playing kind of bad? As we watch Zeus, so.
Yeah, well, yes, as hilarious as it is to point out Zeus not getting kills, it's probably not all on him.
No,
I do think that NaVi as a whole is failing to adjust to what they're running into on the T side here, but I do think SK is showing some cool stuff here. I mean, they're playing with, I think, with a lot of motivation. Maybe with a bit less pressure than almost everyone else. Just because of how weird this team is, and how weird the setup for it has been for a long time, right? And now that they've got Magic in here, who seems to be such a good talent, and everyone seems to have it seems to have almost reinvigorated the team. Yeah. It must be nice to play with someone who pretty much consistently drops double kills every round. I mean, that's not bad. It must be kind of weird though as well, because you just, can you always depend on it? Like certain plays you can to a smaller amount, when you got like Olaf in your team and people like that. But it's like, how consistent can Magic be, and how much of a difference does it make when he has an off game? Like, can anyone else from the SK lineup step up? We've seen Modi doing okay recently. Asilian's very solid. Him originally I thought was to be one of the bigger players, like coming into this as not maybe a superstar, but having that role, like maybe more tier 1 experience to it to a smaller amount. Freeze has some good games with the AWP, but he's not exactly like your, going off the chain, Kenny, JW, anyone like that, or Guardian, of course.
So I'm kind of hoping that maybe SK round themselves out as well, where they don't just have to think, okay, if Magic doesn't play well, we're kind of screwed. Because he's been having a great game. Like, over the last 2 maps, or map and, I guess, like a half, he's been having an out-of-his-mind game. But, you know, if that doesn't happen, does the rest of SK have enough to pull up? I hope they do, and I hope we get to see a little bit more of that. But then again, right now, it's just insane seeing them beating NaVi on Train, and prior to that, they beat them on Cobble. So, it's not exactly the worst thing in the world, and I guess NaVi just have to kind of take this one on the chin at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they even took a tactical timeout when we were on the first map, and that didn't seem to make any kind of a difference. So, yeah, I gotta wonder as well. It could also be that there's a sort of, I mean, especially for, I think, Cillian and Pimp, because I think both Cillian and Pimp are quite, like, motivated and dedicated to trying, like, you know, actually be in a good team and play at a high level, right? It seems to be like both Muddy and Freeze for the longest time have been suffering from like motivational issues where it's like they're kind of in it, but they're kind of not, you know. But I think for those 2 players, for Pimp and Cillian, they've been through so many other Danish lineups that at some point when something starts to work, you also pretty feel inclined to put everything on that. Like you just you gotta make it work because there's no other home for you to find. Like Pimp maybe especially has had falling outs with different sort of other players in the Danish scene.
Muddy used to be that player as well. He was known for having the attitude that people couldn't quite deal with, like a long time ago, bearing in mind.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that still lingers on. I think people still remember that. Definitely. And because the best team in Denmark, Astralis obviously, is if they're not locked in, obviously, but because the members are also sort of, you know, founding members of the company,
they're gonna be there, right?
It's unlikely that even if Magic plays super well, that one day they're gonna say, oh well, let's get rid of someone and bring in Magic. Like at least you can't see that happening within the first year or so.
Well, no, like especially when they weathered through the, I guess, Zipnik's downturn, and now arguably he's one of their best players. Like I
would say
a
the
lot
best, yeah.
of a lot of credit into his hands as well. So it's very hard to see a team if they can overcome and say, okay, well, we'll give you this chance to maybe Zipnix and say, okay, we'll give you this amount of time. Let's see how well you do. If he can turn around and go, all right, screw it, let me put in the work. It's worth it. You don't imagine a team will actually fall apart like that. And you can take those TSM stickers off your gun. The dreams are dead. You'll never become one of them. But no, it is a point. It's like you kind of have to make work what you're given at this point. And maybe down the line, sure, you know, Magic could join like an insanely good team. You know, it's not like we're not seeing these kind of European mixes coming together that can do a lot. You look at, you know, your phases and such.
I think phase a lot of the phase members are in a similar position. You know, where does Fox and Mikey Lely go if the phase project doesn't work out?
Yeah.
Not that many homes left, really. I don't think that Fox wants to go back and play with sort of the rest of the Portuguese or, you know, players. I feel like it's not. It would be a weird position for him to be in. So you probably feel like a different kind of motivation, and it's great. There is such a. I wish there was like a way to pinpoint it, but there is such a difference between watching people play who are super motivated and hyped up, and people who are just going through the motions. And yeah, especially for some of these online games, we do unfortunately see even top teams sometimes show up and be like a little bit, you know, like,
yeah, well, it's online games, right? But then again, like at the moment, it's the start of the season, I guess, so people are still trying to get into that mindset. Okay, well, this is coming fresh, or some of them have just come off the back of, you know, pretty big events, a lot of travel, so they're just kind of settling back into the normal routine. So I think there's a lot of just kind of player characters coming through, or little personalities as, okay, well, this guy just goes back home and grinds it out. You know, that's what he likes to do. Some just don't. They want to take their time, slow it down. Hey, it's an online match. We sure will get enough points to get to the finals, but then again, it can get risky, especially if SK start picking up wins, because they were meant to be the soft pickup. But anyway, we are live, I believe, into the second half here of the second map, and NaVi on the CT side, SK on the T side.
Edward off to a great start. Pimp charging in and finding in the corners Zeus, who goes down immediately. Someone's trying to get this point. Edward going to go for a bit of a fight again, but he drops to a Cillian, and now it's a 3-on-2 as the bomb dies and gets dropped on the floor there. And that's a big problem for SK. They needed that bomb, or at least needed to keep onto it. They realize maybe that they're getting flanked as well. They've got so much time, but they need NaVi to make a big mistake here. Magic going to go for the fight, and he wins it against Guardian. Again, a lot of confidence, but Freeze going to be shut down by Flamey, and now it's all on Magic. 1 versus 2.
Magic's the guy when you need these kills the most. He seems to deliver endlessly, but how can he define this into 2 individual 1v1s? That's the big thing in my mind. He obviously can't take the double peek from these guys, but Seized is low, but he's got the kit. Flamey's waiting patiently in pop. Now Magic's got time to work with, and so far he's actually picking the correct fight, but while this happens, timing is everything. Seized decided to back away. He's starting to get paranoid about Connector, considering we know that Flamey couldn't peek it. Now Magic still playing to this. Gonna have the drop. He spots the shoulder. He gets the headshot. C's now down. That opens up B as an issue. But Flamey's in a good kind of jump-off spot. He can go either side, so where does Magic now take this?
He's gonna run back, and I mean, look at the game sense on this kid as well. Just
because he is young.
He is young, and he's not someone that we know from like previous iterations or anything. So this is not easy to play like this, and he's gonna go upper as well. It's gonna make life so hard for Flamey. He doesn't have like a rifle or needs E-grenades or anything that he could sort of root him out of there. And look, he's spotting a pixel here. If he takes the long way around, maybe he could spot him from a distance. And that would actually be a sick move from Flamey. He jumps, but he can't see him. And this is so tough. Magic might be on the verge of upsetting the situation. Oh, Flamey still alive, and Magic gonna hit the headshot for the triple kill. The clutch, he jumps, celebrates with a suicide. And that's gonna be SK winning the round. What a ridiculous clutch. That's so well played.
That's smartly played. That is beautiful to watch to me. That's a 17-year-old against the 18-year-old in this one. Flamey's 18 and Magic is 17. This guy has a brilliant mind for this game on occasion, defining two 1v1s that he didn't have all the information of. Considering we have X-Ray and you can kind of like piece together the perfect move from that, and he does it without it. He has no knowledge that certain players are in certain places, so credit to him again for forging such a brilliant round in. And now we're at 12-4. At the start, it's like, if they get the pistol, things can reset. But Guardian already, taking the peaks, trying to take the fights against the rifles. And people should know by now, SK like to go for those investments on this. But Zeus, at least, will find Freeze and cut off one arm of the approach from SK.
I mean, what in my opinion, kills that kind of a clutch for almost everybody is that they focus on the idea of getting the bomb down. So they get the bomb down, quick-ish. But then as soon as they do that, NaVi can eliminate almost all the positions that they can be in.
Yep.
So then it's a matter of like a 2-on-1 where they know you're going to be within a very sort of small part of the map. And he used the time that he had. He was under no pressure to get the bomb down. Used the full extent of the time. It's really well done. Flamey picking up a shot with the max 7 on Muddy, and now it's a 3-on-3. So SK got to keep it cool here and not give up a round to NaVi that they really shouldn't be.
No, Zeus, though, does peek out, finds the barrel of the wrong gun, and suddenly Pimp closes down as well towards Flamey, and we've got Edward left in a 1v3. Does at least find Pimp, but that bomb is on A. Magic is covering from on top as that will shut that one down again. And SK, not keeping many alive, but keeping the rifles at least into the game. And still, the money's not awful, but then the money on the other side of things is pretty damn dire, so.
We are 3 kills away on Magic from picking up a 30 bomb within the first 18 rounds here of the game, basically. So this is a little bit ridiculous. And NaVi seem powerless to stop it. And it wasn't as bad as it was on Cobblestone, which ended 14-1 for the half. But this is still a bit of a brutal beating. And Magic, I think he may have heard them running just a bit. They got 3 people on the other side, and they're going to try and charge him. He's out in the open, and he sprays furiously, and he can't make it back around. Cillian is there as well to, or Lino, was that Cillian? No, but they got a kill anyway. Edward picking up an AK. And looks like he's going to go try and challenge Freeze a bit. It doesn't come out on top. Bomb going to go down. I think that was a Cillian getting the kill on B instead. So Seized and Guardian far away from the action and without much equipment.
I can't believe we're seeing this. I thought NaVi would just stamp down their authority pretty soon. I thought it was just like, oh, that's really good for SK. I'm really glad that they've done pretty well on that CT side. They've weathered the storm of NaVi. But then again, NaVi CT side, I always had some small doubts about it, at least back in the prior seasons when they started to show the potential on this. But already, this is looking so damn good for them, for the SK guys. So, such a good spot here on the T side. Not really been pressured that much, aside from, I guess, Magic having to do that 1v2. But now on 28 kills, I guess. I think it's 28. I don't know if that's going to be lying to me at this point. But still, big round coming in. NaVi back up onto the rifles. Now, this is the big one. They have to stop it now, otherwise it's way too late. And there's no chance for a build-up. So, Freeze is just going to go straight out, swinging in towards A. Just seeing if anyone's going to peek through cross towards that site from Train 1. There's the cross. There's one more going up. I don't know if he gets to see that, but Flamey is right on the cusp here. And something just went bang in the studio, which is mildly terrifying. Thank you for that. But Flamey at least will get to.
I have no idea what just happened.
No, but it was scary.
Got a really good double kill. NaVi trying to see if they can stay in this game just a little while longer. They need to win another 10 rounds even just to equalize the score. Pimp going to be going down. Freeze and Magic are left. And even though we've been celebrating Magic for a while here, and he's going to get an easy kill on Zeus, who just cannot seem to find any amount of luck. He's up to 2 kills, though, but still. I don't see them bringing this comeback. 2-on-5, it just was.
No, surely not. Surely not. It's just not going to happen at this point. Especially with the bomb there, like this. All right, Freeze, let's go. Big plays, and pretty badly, to be fair. And Magic now 1v4. And I thought that was the freeze of doom, but actually Magic is just holding still. Let's come through. Now, piling up is going to be NaVi, so at least they clinched the very important round there. That's the big one. Edward's going to even recover the AWP as well, so that could be passed out to Guardian, who probably wouldn't have had enough money to go for that either way, so that's a really nice savior for him. Drop's going to go all around, so he's going to be able to kind of flush out the rest of the side, and NaVi back onto a good spot here. But then again, SK not in the worst position. They've still got 2 players with a lot of money, so they could drop out some pistols, get everyone up onto that.
Don't even understand why they didn't go for a buy in this round.
Yeah, they could have dropped pretty well, to be fair, and then just gone for maybe the Tech Knights to supplement.
Yeah. They didn't do a lot of damage last round, maybe that's why, but still a bit confusing. Guardian, there's a lot of people on the other side. He's back for the smoke. He's got the pistol out now. They still haven't. Finally, they're going to find him. Asilian is going to get a kill, and actually a double. Pip going to go down as a trade. 2-on-3 right now, and Freeze, he was low on health already, and so is Asilian. So it's still not looking good here for SK, but a bit of a weird fight. Oh, and throwing away the AWP. Just telling Guardian, no, sir.
Lovely.
And are they going to go and check for it? Yeah, look at this.
I was just like, what? Really nicely done. I love that. Now, okay, Guardian can rebuy, but that's a big investment now. And considering NaVi are on a knife's edge, money-wise and round-wise, that's a really nice bit of play. And of course, Freeze can buy one now as well himself, get it with armor, and now SK are in a good spot again. So, rebound, pull it back. It's a lot of rounds to come back here for NaVi, but, you know, maybe they can pull something through from this. Freeze is going to be going straight out again on this one. Also, he didn't have much luck on it, and now he does spread out the shoulder of Guardian early enough to say, all right, screw that. I don't want to take that fight. You can do what you want, Guardian. I'm fine. And then again, SK taking the time on this, not really taking much presence anywhere, but they do have a couple of players over by B.
Pimp on the high ground there, trying to see if he could spot anyone out. That gives them at least a little bit of control and some room to work with. Edward being slightly aggressive, and again, once you've made it that far in, I would probably just elect to keep one person there, just because of how annoying it'll be to SK. Edward instead going to go and check Pop Dog, and just waiting still. Got just over a minute.
He's actually going for this. What? Edward just tries, I guess, to do something. He was chomping at the bit, to be fair. He tried to push through A main as well, and now just, rather than committing there, decides, you know what, I'm gonna go have a great time at Pop. So they're gonna put the smoke down there, so it does allow a little bit of room to breathe if they do come out of Pop. But now Zeus is right on the other side, but fluffs his lines and misses everything. Guardian's having to pick up the pieces, as the rest of SK have some foot towards the door, at least in the door, in towards this A side.
They can't stop this plan. It seems they're trying to spray down, but Magic, oh, he's gonna get late. He takes down Guardian. Seems like everything is going their way at the moment. Flamey, you know, 1-on-4 here, and this is about to be match point here for SK. 14 rounds. Asilian actually making the jump up himself from the train, which is perfectly possible, but it still takes a little bit of practice. That's going to be 15-6, and we're moving into the 7th round of the second half here. 31 kills for Magic.
Throughout this game, he's had 58 kills, including that last map. This guy's going massive.
Jesus.
He had, what, 27 in the previous one? What can you say about a guy who's playing this well? Like, it becomes like a Guardian factor almost to that sort of degree. But 15-6, again, Freeze going to take that initial fight. This time, you know, a couple of nades can be put there, forces him away. But Pimp's already found Zeus, and the 4 remaining players from NaVi are going to have to find a very, very big piece of silver lining to this game somehow, because this is not a game you want to be losing.
I mean, I think to answer your question, pay him more money, basically. He appears to be worth it. This is really nuts. You gotta hope that SK qualify for more LAN tournaments at this rate, because this could be very interesting. Pimp going to be traded out there. And Muddy going down as well. C is doing a really good job holding onto the bomb site, bringing them back into a 3-on-3. And there is a player in main as well who could be sneaking in, so that could be a little bit annoying. SK, they're not going to expect Edward to be here. Flamey picking up a shot now. Edward coming out, getting close to the max 7. He gets the one shot in. Actually misses the first one, but still finishes the round. And Edward keeping the dream alive for NaVi.
Great adjustment then as well, and double AWP coming out. Okay, so not something I'm too used to seeing, I guess, from NaVi on this map at least. I'm trying to throw my mind back if I see it much, and I remember maybe C's does play a little bit of just like pushing up on B when he gets the AWP. I'm wondering if he'll do it this time. It's so risky at this point, but then again, gotta see what they do. So far, C's is not going anywhere near that, so gonna straight out, peek in towards main. No one's there. And SK going back in on, we've got the Galil, two Galils, excuse me, a Cillian and Pimp both playing with that, and Freeze taking a much more passive angle this time.
Yeah, really doesn't want to fight Guardian out here again. Well, you can't really blame him either. This does give a lot of options for NaVi to set up and a lot more movement for the rifle players, because those AWPs could just be sort of one in A, one in B, and everybody else could be a lot more mobile, knowing that some of those angles are covered. So, SK, all they have is actually 4 smokes. No Molotovs, though, so if they want to try and execute somewhere, it's possible, but a lot of the positions on that B-bomb side, they won't be able to fire out.
No, and I think it's Seized who's back over by B now as well. So he's going to be the one on that sort of side of things. Pimp's just working his way through. He's going to be the one just to peer out. You got a Cillian getting lined up with his flash. Going to maybe flash Moddy in. Maybe Freeze. Freeze likes to take the jump down there, so Freeze is about to go and peek on this one. Zeus, wrong player on the wrong side. It's going to be Seized, and Flamey holding these guys back really well as well. The flood started to come through, and the dam of NaVi just says no. A Cillian, though, this guy picked up the AWP before in Ivy, and he started doing well, but now he's just having, like, being fed players. NaVi, the Lemmings, just start walking out. Now he's all alone. He shouldn't be able to get much, but he fights Guardian. This guy's sick. 3 kills now. Surely not. Like, he's got 20 seconds. He's got the bomb, but it's just time to run away probably and keep hold of that AWP, but screw it, I guess. Why not give it a crack?
I mean, he has a smoke as well, which means if he puts it up, he could maybe force Zeus to wait. You got to imagine Zeus is not feeling too confident. Now, the 10 seconds, yeah, smoke does go up, and Zeus is right on the other side, so he could just charge through, and that's exactly what he's going to do. So he's out on the other side. Bomb has gone down, a Cillian still with that AWP in hand, and he goes for the shot. He's going to miss it. Flamey comes through. What? No scope. One Zeus on the other side. A Cillian looking for the clutch ace here, and he scoped up. Zeus right on the other side. He likes it. Oh, no, he can't get it. So close. Zeus gonna upset the situation. Out of all the kills that Zeus had to get, did it have to be the one that actually denies the ace clutch?
One of the 3 kills denied it. One of the 3.
What an incredible attempt from a Cillian. He actually legs him. That's
gonna be soul destroying as well. You sounded like, I tagged him, didn't I? It's just like, what? Oh man, that was absolutely insane. And as said, Zeus, if there was any time to get a kill, that was it. But SK now falls back down on the pistols. Just a P250s, a Glock, even in the hands of Freeze as well. And Zeus is going to be leering forward. And, oh, that was a little bit hairy, but he does get the kill in the end. Guardian now going to be rushed down, and actually goes down to Magisk. So there's an AWP possibly available. I don't think there's anyone traded out. Oh my god, Magisk, what the hell are these shots he's connecting to? Pimp as well got the kill on towards Edward, so they're making it relatively costly here. And Pimp has the AWP, so if he can run away a little bit, I doubt he's going to get that bomb, but he could just hold an angle, denies the AWP, like, screw you guys, you're not going to keep 2. You have 1, that's enough.
Just trying to make life really hard for NaVi at the moment. Why not?
Yeah.
You're right, they did hit some pretty good pistol shots outside. But Zeus, I mean, he's coming alive here. He's getting kills left and right.
Your sarcasm is mean. It's hurting my feelings. I feel bad for him.
No, don't feel bad for Zeus.
Never feel bad. That after film, you know, after party filming really did get to you, didn't it? Never feel sympathy.
I think Zeus can take it. I think he's a good sport in that sense, so he'll be fine.
Why are we watching this back? Like, look at this. Can we, like, slow-mo this part, just, like, half speed, like... Look at it. Look how close that was to chest as well. But that wasn't even low. That's ridiculous. But anyway, 15-9, that was... That's soul destroying. Imagine if SK now go to OT and lose.
I mean...
Unlikely.
It's not likely, but it's definitely possible that can happen. I don't even know what would be. That would be so devastating at that point. Well, they have a lot more equipment this time on the SK side. I still think that B push is viable for them to try and go for again, but maybe just fake out A a little bit here. I don't know. What's up with Guardian?
Is this little, like, numbers again just coming through? Not gonna happen, but SK look like they're gonna do like a nice little choreograph piece, maybe just pinstring in towards A, but they have no one down by Ivy, so I don't know how they're gonna try and negate that.
This strat can be turned into a fake if they wanted to. I'm not sure they will this time, but I kind of wish that they would, because why not try and force Guardian and NaVi into a bit of an over-rotation? Zeus going for a fight, but he goes down to Pimp Edward, and actually Freeze taking out Pimp, so a bit of a team kill coming in there, but Magic gonna make up for it with a great double spray down.
Lovely.
And now it's gonna be Flamey and C's left.
They need to step up to this one. The bomb is planted. You got Asilium being like the gargoyle waiting on the side to do anything, but he can't do it this time. Now 2v2. Magic's just waiting. He's got a nade. Freeze does get tagged up and spotted. He does get at least the tag towards one. Magic finishes off now. 1v1. Flamey up against Magic again. Magic needs the 4K to close it down here for SK, and what a performance it would be, but Flamey gets it. And time
That
is
bomb.
actually...
No, it's on the other side.
He's missed it!
Oh, Flamey,
Oh
yes,
my
he's got
God.
it, he's got it, but that's so dangerous. Just imagine.
That
35 kills from Magic, and we're
thinnest
still,
of threads here for NaVi.
we're still in regulation.
Yeah, so we've had a 15 HP tag basically left towards Zeus, the guy who had 3 kills. That saved them once. Now we've had the bomb just being found in time. This is one of those games where SK are going, how much can we throw at them? How much until it works for us? Because at the moment, it looks like they're just going all out, straight in towards A. They've had enough. They're getting frustrated. They just want to get this one done and dusted. And Magic is going to be leading that way here. However, does get tagged up by the nades. They didn't wait long enough to get them to be removed. No, he's going to have an easy time of this at the moment. Now they only got 3 targets to find, and Edward is locking it down with Zeus. This is a performance swing up from those two, leaving just Freeze alive and only 1 kill against NaVi. SK looked a little flustered just going in for that.
Yeah, I mean, if Zeus hadn't been down at Ivy, you have to imagine that the Sniper Nest player would have get taken out by Magic, and that would have opened up the bomb side. So I kind of actually like the fact that Magic tried to sort of push with the fire down there, but the timing just wasn't working in his way. I was like, maybe someone else has been playing for Zeus this whole time, and Zeus literally just made it back now. You know, he was actually out somewhere, and now he's like, what is this?
What have you done?
Three kills in 18 rounds. It's time for me to step it up.
Alrighty, Flamey's about to get some delightful padding to his score, I can imagine, at this point, but he actually backs away. Oh, the jump from Asilium coming down, but Flamey just running out of bullets by this point, but he's seen everything, and Seized is going to be here, and the padding begins. Seized gets 3, and there's the 4th. Nice little bit of control on that, and good for them. So NaVi getting very close here now, bringing this one back. An admirable performance considering the scoreline on the half now.
Are they going to go at any point here for the double up Scar 20 setup? Because that seems...
You just said Scar, and look at Flamey.
Did he pick it up?
Rush, Flamey.
Ah, yeah. So this is something that they seem to be doing a lot now, Navi, whenever they feel... It's not going to be the double up, but they've done double up Scar 20 a lot whenever they've been sort of, you know, in this position where they have the money for it. They might as well keep going. It's not ever going to be a waste for them to buy it now, so why not?
Oops. Flamey trying to go for a little bit of a jump onto the side, just doesn't hit it right, and now got stuck down a little lower. Then again, 4 players on towards A as well. I am hoping SK go back to that B hit. I really am. I'd just like to see them try it out again, but I guess they just don't really want to do it. Now Flamey's actually got the auto sniper. It does become a little more difficult, I guess. You get a lot of spam as they do drop down, a lot of tags come out.
I mean, the thing is, they haven't been able to actually go for this site and get a good entry, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to know whether the rest of the tactic that they've got is going to even work, because they don't even get a chance to like pull it off right. Due to NaVi being really good in that bomb side, they've done a really good job, but you still got to worry just a little bit here. SK with a lot of time on their hands still. And actually look at that. 1 grenade, 1 flashbang, and it already draws 2 people who are attempting to rotate, Edward and someone else over from the A-bomb side. So just a fake here from SK would, I think, yield them a lot. Instead, they're going to go charging out into the site here. Pim apparently completely blind and cannot see that someone, that was Zeus right in front of him. Zeus finally going down, but seems like it might have been too late here. Freeze and Asilium on the left.
Freeze, you got to hold this one down. You've got Asilium on the side. He can only last so long. He's got an expiration date, but he's doing well with it. It's a 1-for-1 trade out, but there we go. Freeze gets 1 down. Now in a 1v2, he knows where the bomb's planted. Spots one on the top of the train. Gets down Edward. Now into a 1v1 up against Guardian. Guardian nades out, doesn't get caught by the swing out. He does go for the people. Freeze avoids it. He's down to 9 HP. He's playing this like a champ.
Kit in hand, Guardian, he's heard it already. Freeze just dodging, and Guardian gonna try and hunt him down. Freeze making it around the train. Oh no, he misses the shot, but how is he still alive? And that bomb is ticking, and it's done. Guardian hiding behind Electric. It won't save them. 16-12 in favor of SK as they defeat NaVi, not just on Cobblestone, but on Train as well.
Wow.
What a way to end it.
What a game. I love that from Freeze. I think people have been becoming more and more in love with the movement you can show on this map, and I think we just saw a great display of it then, just buying the time, being such a nuisance, like cat and mouse, Tom and Jerry. And sadly this time, Tom, as Guardian, just couldn't do much about it. Freeze, I loved that. But yeah, I think, once again, we've got to highlight, Magic just went sick. Like, throughout this entire series. If he can replicate that, that's a dangerous player. But, wow.
He seems to do it on a regular basis as well. So I'm not surprised, really, but it's always fun to watch. It's great to see new talent coming into it. I mean, there's a couple of different players like that in the Danish scene, Config being another one. So, yeah, I definitely think it's very, very encouraging. 21 new playing as well, you know, a lot of new players out there thinking, maybe I should play. Yeah, definitely. There's a chance at least that you could make it big. Well, I think we are ready with the analyst desk, so we'll get a bit of a word from them on all the madness that we just saw here on Train.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. What an absolute bonkers match that was. It literally had everything. We had Guardian almost pulling off a crazy ace. Magic's Boy pulled it off for 4K after that. We almost had Asilion pull off a crazy ace. It literally had everything. And then towards the end, you thought, are NaVi actually going to bring this back? Suddenly, is the choke really coming on from SK? What a crazy game.
It's a Danish thing, Lee.
It's just Danish things. They like to choke. But Magic's Boy, let's talk about him to start with. Okay, let's focus on that boy, because he's got, what, 36, 37 kills?
He had almost 70 kills in 2 maps.
Yeah.
Which is insane. He had, on average, 30-plus kills in both maps. And with a performance like that, combined with, again, some really undisciplined and reckless play from NaVi in the first half, when they were up 4-0, and then they had, I think, 4 afterplan situations in a row. They had a 5v3 afterplant on B, which they managed to lose. It was this round where actually Magic came from ladder room, and he manages to get just 4 kills, or 3 kills, whatever.
He got a 4K, yeah, he did.
Yeah, coming in from behind. So that should never happen to a team like NaVi. I mean, you know, they were making a lot of mistakes, combined with good individual play from Magic, and then Freeze as well on the outer bomb site, as Asilion played well in the inner bomb site as well. I mean, again, I talk about this side of NaVi on Train, how amazing it is. They proceeded to lose 11 rounds in a row on their T side after being 4-0 up initially. I mean, it's totally unusual for NaVi.
It's nonsensical. It's funny that when we come into this match, we're thinking about Guardian, who's going to just be this powerhouse. And there is, again, you know, it's just like I said yesterday, right? There's always a yin and a yang, boys. You know, balance in the universe. And Magic this time, man.
You really had a good time in Taipei, didn't you?
So, okay,
amazing.
we'll have the yin of Magic, the yang of Zeus. What happened in that game? Man?
Oh yeah,
it's just one of those
matches where I think Zeus, because I've mentioned this in the past on the desk, right, where Zeus and Starks are still trying to figure out a balance between the two. Where Starks is calling, but Zeus, you know, sometimes still has those moments where he's like, all right, well, I think this is what we should do, and you know, it's like, no, sorry, Zeus, you're not the leader anymore, but he still seems to get in there. I feel like this was like what we're watching from Zeus. He's probably just, you know, there facepalming, going like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
and leader who's now stepped down. It's hard for him. I think that's what really impacted his own game there. He just doesn't know how to get his head back into it.
This wasn't a calling problem. This was individual mistakes, because they managed to get into those afterplan situations. They would get into the site. They would have the advantageous situation, you know, but then they would just mess it up with some, you know, unnecessary peaks and so on, which is just...
Zeus rages a lot too. Like there's still a tendency from him to really...
So falling on from the Cobblestone
game. I think he tilted, basically.
Yeah.
Like what happened was he's probably just, you know, so he's just fuming the whole time, and he probably just tilted off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, yeah, he was non-existent for the first
It was
10 rounds
115 in the first half. 115. That's and it, like not even a single assist. 1 kill. And that happened to be in that very last round, the very last moment with UMP.
At least this happened in an online match.
Exactly, yeah. But also, I really wish Asilion Ace had landed, but that would have been epic.
Amazing,
that would have been epic. But anyway, guys, we're going to go to a break, and coming up afterwards, it's going to be the Score Esports Hot Match of the Week. It is, of course, fnatic versus Virtus.pro. Don't go anywhere. Sports Hot Match of the Week. As we said, fnatic up against Virtus.pro. Getting into this one pretty fast, pretty loud, and fnatic win the knife. So.
Also, I mean, looking at the second map as well, it's Overpass, which fnatic used to ban so far every tournament, every veto. So that one's going to be interesting as well. VP have been...
They're going straight to pistol. Let's get over to the casters, guys. It's going to be Anders and Semler.
Well, here we go. Already starting off with Dennis landing a great shot. A second follow-up on Neo as well, and they did get started.
It's not the pistol.
Oh, it's not the pistol? Oh, that's such a shame.
Is it not? No, it isn't actually. Yeah, none of them about Kevlar.
Oh, I got tricked badly.
I did too.
That would have been great, though. I would have loved to have seen Dennis just charge in and kill a couple of people like that. Well,
They're
we're
like,
all
"Dennis,
in
just-
the clear then.
Dennis, just do that again. Just do that again. Whatever you did, just do it again.
Samla, the panel has been saying that VP should not have been picking this map against Fnatic. What do you think?
I think this was a calculated risk on VP's part because the last maps remaining are randomized, much like the majors.
Yes.
And so what worries me is like, why did VP even just leave this in as a risk? You know, it's obviously a calculated risk, but a risk, you know, that they could have eliminated by just banning the map and then, you know, maybe going on a more favorable one. So it is a little bit odd. No luck this time for VP, but let's see what they're capable of. I mean, if it's the same VP that showed up yesterday, they're going to be in for a pretty rough time versus Fnatic. And this is Dennis's map. Like, Dennis loves to play on Dust 2, so...
Oh, look at Fnatic. They're so quick with this crunch on the B bomb side, and Taz, he can't do anything in the back lines. They just rushed out the middle, and VP wanted to play a very different game, so they're probably going to get Flusher here, but I'm not sure it'll help them too much. They're still at 2v3 right now. The bomb is down. They don't have a kit currently picked up, and Krim's hitting a nutty shot coming through the double door there, so it will be all on Pasha, who was playing very well yesterday, but not going to be good enough here. Dennis will take it out, and it will be Fnatic starting off with the round, and I think VP, they had that whole setup on Catwalk. You know, they were expecting to have some sort of prolonged duel going on. And in fact, Fnatic actually rushed out lower dark and into the middle right underneath them.
No respect, man. No respect from Fnatic. That's the key thing to take away from that pistol, is that Fnatic were just like, yeah, okay, we'll take the fight to you. No worries. Like, we aren't going to waste any time here. We're not going to let you try and get some confidence going in this match. We're just going to take control right off the bat and mess you up. And, well, Pasha might be in for a bit of a rough time here. Lower dark, they're about to push in Fnatic. At least one of them is going to go for the peak. And I do like that Fnatic have the buddy system going as well, instead of just putting the one in there. That's Krims, or rather Dennis. Krims is there to back him, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the pair of them are there. And it's going to be another B hit coming in.
I love that they have the 2 scouts and then the 2 deagles to follow up, because if you get a body shot with the scout, then that deagle becomes so powerful all of a sudden. So I like that VP have invested into this, but it will be a very tough hold for what Fnatic are about to throw at them as well. I think JW has a smoke, so I expect he's going to try and use that. Oh, Snacks with a strong headshot, and Pasha picking up a kill as well. There's another little bit of damage being done here. Jumping shot coming through as well, and Taz almost lining it up. All of the last man left here in a 1-on-2. He's got the triple. He needs an ace.
And both targets don't have Kevlar. That's one thing to note here. So Neo, he's got that scout, but he is still just chilling out, waiting over on the A side. Bialy literally got that nade straight to the face, fed to him. He's down to 17-8.
No.
Oh! Good night, Bialy. You
That
just can't
is
catch a break.
brutal.
You just can't catch a break.
83 damage from that first grenade, and obviously the follow-up, well, it was just devastating. So much time left, and we were crediting...
Ace clutch?
Well, we were crediting, was it Cillian or Magic? I can't remember, on Train, who to use the time.
Cillian.
Cillian, right. So again, good play here from Olofmeister, but he's got to run now all the way. He can't stop and check any corners.
And the issue here is that with this scout, Neo, all he needs is one hit on Olofmeister. So Kevlar could be negated if he's fast enough here. It's also going to come down to timing. As you guys can see, Neo, he got on the other side of the boxes, so he's not actually going to be able to see up onto this A site. Olofmeister, he just has so little time. He needed to hit that jump, and he does. Perfect movement coming out here from Olofmeister. That might have cost him if he just missed it.
Oh, Neo, that scout's very powerful when jumping. Olofmeister, got to be very careful at the moment, but if he gets body shot Neo, then that's going to be a bit different matter altogether. That aim punch is going to wreck him. And Olof trying to play this one well. He's looking for the last kill in his ace to clutch this round for the Fnatic team. He played it very tight, running all the way to the A-bomb site. And Neo now trying to get a little bit closer with that scout. He's wasting so much time. He doesn't have a kit. He needs to move quicker than this. He gets the kill, but can he actually defuse? I'm not sure he will have... Oh,
this new bomb timer, man.
Wow.
This new bomb timer.
Well, it's going to get very close anyway, but I think he just has it.
Yeah. Wow.
You know what's really mad? Is that if Olof had just stopped and looked into CT spawn, he would have straight up been able to shoot Neo in the back of the head. Neo wasn't even turning around, so that was a little bit crazy. But what a turnaround here. And Snacks, we were criticizing him so much last time, sets them off on a good course in this game.
Yeah, nice work from Pasha as well. And it's right, you know, it's that 1-2 combination between the Deagles and the Scouts that works so well together. Pasha, he was able to get 2 kills, but one of them was with the help of Snacks, getting that tag in there. Just doing that initial damage. Now we'll have a force buy coming out from Fnatic. Obviously, they don't want to give up control here of the momentum at the beginning of the half. They're going to just try and come right back into this fight swinging. And well, VP now they have the 4 rifles, so they should be prepared for this. They should not get overwhelmed. But perfect flash.
Trying for a follow-up here. Smoke actually might be saving Neo at this point. And the bomb is down as well inside that smoke, so a little bit of panic on the Fnatic side. They're doing a lot of damage and getting some kills here. That's JW to the Desert Eagle.
But the nade, it hit him. They should know. Exactly. Taz, he's lost the element of surprise. Oh, it's so unfortunate for Taz. If he hadn't body blocked that nade, they would have never known that he was holding close to lower, or close to the upper dark like that. Oh, wow. Man, that is a kick in the teeth for Taz.
And that means VP can't really do anything to try and retake. I mean, that pop flash in the middle was great as well.
Whoa.
Even if it took some time before Neo eventually went down, just the time that they spent on it.
Neo did put up a good fight. I mean, taking out Dennis like that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it was just a bit too much. That pincer movement, like Fnatic, they're really... Fnatic, this is what makes Fnatic so viciously, powerful. Like, they just don't have any fear in them. When they execute a strat, they just run. Like, all of them group up and all of them run. There is not... They don't go in drips and drabs like we've been seeing from other teams over the past several days, where it's just like one guy runs in one at a time. No, they move in like this pack of wolves, all of them just collapsing on the target, and so you just get caught out, and you have nowhere to go if you're VP. Maybe you take one of them with you, but then bam, there's the instant refrag, and then Fnatic have the site. It's really, I mean, it's painful to watch. If you I can't even imagine how VP feel when they're dealing with this.
Well, they don't seem too intimidated in the sense that they still keep buying here. I mean, they obviously save 2 rifles, but they buy another 2 scouts and a 5-7, so they want to contest and pressure Fnatic here. They probably know that if they start to eco, then it's going to give enough breathing room for Fnatic to make something off it. Bialy going to go down. Wanted to see if he could peek middle there, but from lower dark, Crims is coming in. And that's a clean way to start the round for Fnatic.
And that was a sick setup by Flusha as well. Flash deep, guy on cat, had no idea what hit him. And Crims, of course, he isn't going to miss a golden opportunity like that to get a free headshot on a fully blinded CT. So Crims, yeah, he's negotiating his way through the smoke. And now, well, they have that man advantage, and Fnatic, they aren't a team to lose it, and they're even changing it up now. They've been hitting B, now it's going to be towards that A once again, and this time it's split through long and short, so it's going to be real tough here for Pasha. He has to take out one of them, and he's going to catch JW looking the wrong way, but then again, instant refrag coming through. Flusha, though, is stuck behind the box, and this is not good. He needs his teammates to get up onto that site and start applying some pressure to Neo.
But Neo's still a presence. Oh, actually, he's not. Olofmeister hitting a long-range shot with the AK and taking him down, and that's going to allow Flusha to get up here. And again, you're right, the bomb would have been dropped, and Snatch, nice headshot on Crims. We're back in a 2-on-2. Still winnable here for the VP team, especially with Taz taking the bomb carrier, or actually that was Flusha dropping the bomb to Olofmeister, so at least they get the bomb down here. But Olof, again, in another clutch situation, trying to see if he can make it work, and Snacks, he's going to be going down, and now Olof in a really good position.
This is tough. He's trying to turn it into a headshot angle. Oh, what a shot from Olof. So crisp, so clean. 8-0-2 for Olof as well right now. He's not even sharing with his teammates. He's hogging all the frags. He's getting all the work done. I mean, it's the Scandinavian night, Anders. You got Magic Boy going over for the Danes, just wrecking, and now Olofmeister showing up on this server, and he's just tearing VP limb from limb. VP now finally forced to eco.
Well, I mean, they are putting up a lot of struggle here, VP. They're definitely fighting back hard. It's not like Fnatic are just being allowed to sort of like steamroll them. It's down to, these 1v1s and 1v2s. The problem is Fnatic is coming out on top so much that now, you're right, they have to eco. Flusha, still a bit of a pop flash going around the corner. And he connects with the spray. Not going to give anything away here. Taz being the last man alive.
VP just can't catch a break. Flusha lives with 1 HP. How sad is that? Now, well, Taz, speaking of sadness, he's feeling it right now. Oh, no. Olaf, have mercy.
Those grenades, man.
They're so brutal. Olaf,
93.
He's 3 for 3 on his HEs right now. Just dunking them.
And now VP, I mean, you can't blame them maybe too much. They go for a buy here. We just have to remember that because of all of these force-ups and like continuous buys and stuff like that, they are locking themselves out of position for going for that double-up setup, which is so powerful on the CT side of Dust 2. So that's just worth thinking about. Flusha, though, will be going down. A nice start from Bialy, who's, I think it's the first kill of the game for him.
Yeah, I think he's finally on the board. You're right. A little bit of an HE, just to try and create a bit of a smoke screen, give Crims a chance to get out here. And well, the fact that Flusha's lost so early on now puts Fnatic in a bit of an awkward spot, because VP, they can go back to a more of a default hold 2-1-2. They're ready for anything. They can quickly rotate towards the B side, towards the A side as necessary. Neo is going to be the key man here. He's going to be your swing player, and well, they could set up a flash, but it seems like they're trying to walk. They just want to walk in and challenge, straight up take that fight. And now Dennis, he's going to be able to lay down that CT smoke, and they could split B if they want. But fnatic, are they overthinking things? They're rotating the bomb back into lower. They're opening up options to go back towards A if they want.
And look at what Bialy is doing. He's pushing up behind them, and it seems like Crim's actually, or Dennis, sorry, sees this coming. What a great play. That actually puts it in favor of fnatic, and JW going to pick up Taz. Pasha goes down in the middle. That's another double kill for JW, and Crims to finish the round. That's just... It's so frustrating for VP because they're essentially playing it pretty well. They know that if fnatic go for the split, then that could leave them in a bad position, so they want to go for some information. If fnatic are just there waiting for them. That's such a good read.
Yeah, fnatic, they're controlling the pace, basically. They're forcing Bialy to go for that push for info, and they're ready and waiting. Dennis, though, that was a huge round from him. Taking the fight straight up with Neo, winning it. And that's a really frustrating moment for Neo as well, because there's nothing to signal that anybody's going to push through there. Not a flash, not a smoke, nothing. So it's all just about that element of surprise there for Dennis, and it pays off massively. And well, once again, VP, they get their economy wrecked. They're back to pistols, but we should have a decent buy, considering they're starting to lose quite a few rounds in a row here. So hopefully they'll be able to at least afford one AWP. I mean, we need at least that. Somebody to go toe-to-toe here with JW.
Yeah, I think that'd be vital for them. They also allow them to put up a different kind of setup over at B if they actually pick up 2 ops. So
Snacks can play it.
yeah, Snacks definitely can. Right now, the stack towards middle and catwalk are not really being put into play as they come back into the bomb site. Well, Bialy hits a really good shot, but that is also going to be the end of it, it seems.
And that sets it up nicely here. Olafmeister, as if buy eco doesn't matter. He'll Shrek you regardless. And Flusha's there to take out Snacks. So these have just been, so far at least, ever since the 4th round, just very one-sided affairs here for fnatic. They're just controlling VP from start to finish in these rounds. But finally, VP, there it is. The double AWP play comes into it. Pasha and Snacks. Snacks going to take it over towards the B site. Pasha looks like he wants to go towards A long. Unless he gets boosted up on Catwalk, that's an option, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like it's going to be that long peak. Perhaps to try and challenge Flusha. Flusha tries to go aggressive again, but Snacks, he takes the fight straight up versus JW. He gets legged, but he wins.
Very, very good job using that flash that Smith's always used to put out, and so response, then is going to be right in the middle here, winning that long-range spray against Neo. Just was caught off guard a little bit. They seem to be just very good at winning this battle in mid lane. If you do that consistently, then this T side becomes so much more easy to play for fnatic. So VP need to find a way to adjust and change that.
Yeah, you can really see just supreme confidence coming out of Dennis right now. And this is his map. Dennis always seems to be able to hit a higher level on Dust 2. And we're seeing it now. T side right now just dominating mid. When we swap over to that CT side, he'll be over on that A side ready to wreak havoc. So, I mean, VP, they need to find a solution somehow. And that double up, it's paid off a little bit here, initially at least, winning the duel versus JW. But now where they just need both of these ops to just lock down a site respectively. You've got Snack still camping out over on the B site. He's on the site itself as well, so he has nowhere to back up. He just has to stand his ground and hope that he can hold against this split that's going to be coming here. 45 seconds left on the clock, and fnatic are now getting ready to go.
Problem is, with 20 health, he can't hide behind those boxes either because they have grenades, and he's going to be gone right after that. So, again, the rotation is miles away. This is all up to Taz and Snacks. They need to do it pretty much on their own, playing a 2 versus 4. fnatic make their way through the smoke in the middle, and Taz goes down. And now Snacks, so much trouble coming his way. Flashed immediately, trying to see if he can stay alive, shooting into the ground. A little bit of confusion. It's going to be Pasha and Bialy left.
This is just a thing of beauty, Anders.
Yeah.
I mean, this is supreme confidence. This is what it looks like. fnatic, they have no fear right now. They're just rushing out and looking for these duels, and every time it just seems like they're coming up ahead. Flusha, he's been playing very well so far this map. There's the jump peek coming up from Olaf. All right. That was some style points there for the Swede. He's even getting the chase on here. Pasha, you better run, buddy. Got nowhere to go but forward, and Dennis is already waiting to cut them off, so Longhouse could be an option, but he sacrifices Bialy in the process.
What a brutal start to this game. I love the sort of the fighting spirit of VP early on, just continuing to buy and almost making it work as well against fnatic. But now, because they eventually lost that struggle, you can tell that their economy is not recovering. It's 7-1, and when they finally put together that sort of a double up setup, it's just not paying off. All of it, 15,000 money right now, or gold, dollars, whatever it is. And what was his scoreline as well? 13-1-2. My God.
Yeah, it's flusha who's kind of woken up now.
Do you think he was watching the Magic game and just saying, I could beat that?
I can do better. Ooh, Neo, though, that's it. That's the way to do it. Now that op is down over here at Longhouse, so Neo actually has a gun to work with. But they don't waste any time at all, Fnatic. They're not going to allow him to reposition, try and bring that back up onto the site to be a nuisance. Instead, they just push right through, dropping a man down into CT, and planning for Catwalk, which they have control of. Taz doing the best that he can, and he finds a headshot on Crims. But then, you know, that buddy system, again, flusha's right there to back up Crims, and there's no control here for VP. This is all just down to Pasha hoping to get a lucky headshot, basically, against Dennis, and it's just not going to happen. And now there's no reason, I mean, there is a reason, which is hunt for the op, and make sure that Neo can't see it, save it, but Fnatic don't even need a challenge on long. So long as they have control of Catwalk, there's nothing that Neo can do.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they could get this all away, and they have so much money that they don't need to save the AKs, basically. Just run and make sure that Neo can't survive with this, and they actually see it coming. flusha jumping in from behind. I think Neo saw him jumping, might be able to get the kill here. Good flick, actually. But, he's barely going to make it out. That's so close.
Oh, this would be huge for him as well if he can just save this, and he will. So yeah, you guys can see, I mean, Olafmeister starting with 16K, all five players basically for Fnatic above 10,000 money. They don't have to worry about it. They got money for days. But this allows VP, I mean, they had the money to go for a full buy, so that double op is going to come into it, but Snacks at least saves a little bit of money on the side, so he's got 3,400, so maybe that can open things up for the next round. In case this is an expensive one for VP, they could try and go for some kind of curveball. But Fnatic, man, they aren't wasting any time. Straight up rush onto the B site, but Fnatic, they're running right into a trap.
Yeah, and it's sprung, and it's working perfectly right now. Taz with a good double kill, and flusha on his own with just a little bit too much to do. But this is one of those things when you're up this far, there's still so much that can be accomplished in a round like this, just because you can essentially force them to buy more rifles later on. And flusha, I think he's just trying for some MLG stuff here.
You see that? Jump mid-air shot. Alright then. They know exactly where he's playing from, of course, and they've already got a man on the backstab. flusha sees it coming as well, so he knows his time is, I mean...
The thing is, if it had worked, we would have had 10 million threads saying how flusha is hacking, so good times.
He doesn't hack, dude. There we go. Finally, Snacks is going to tag him down. So 2 rounds on the board for VP, and that was perfect for Virtus.pro. It was basically, I mean, it's a bit of a what? Triple op from Neo? Well, okay then. It was a gamble from VP though. I mean, 3 guys early on the B site. That's just, you're playing that to just, in case Fnatic decide to go for the B rush, boom, you shut them down, right? You're going to have everybody in position, double crossfire basically. Super sick, and it works out perfectly. So great call from VP in the end. It worked out, and now Snack's not going to get lucky this time in mid.
Pasha up on the catwalk as well. Really forward position. Got to be careful down from lower dark. Olafmeister temporarily smoked off, and I love this from BP. Pushing up and getting the information. If they can just find Olaf back there, then they should know so much about what's happening on the rest of the map. Olaf coming up for it here. Taking a bit of fight with Taz. Olaf is actually trapped right now, so maybe if they could just get a bit of help from Catwalk, this might be working out. Olaf flashing his way through and actually getting that flash through, and Neo can't hit the shot, and Taz in a lot of trouble. How has nobody died in this fight yet? It's going to be a grenade chasing him back, and another nice shot from Taz. JW trying to help out, and VP decide, look, we got what we came for, even though it wasn't quite as planned. Olaf in the middle, going to be going down to Snacks.
Nice shot from Snacks, locking it down, and now it's flusha Dennis and Crims, the last 3 alive here for Fnatic, setting up the A play. Surprised it took them this long to try and push out on long, considering what was happening over in Upper Dark, but Fnatic still trying to find a solution here. Snacks and Taz are both very low, so VP, they're not out of the doghouse. They could definitely get caught out here, especially considering Fnatic have been hitting some pretty sick shots so far. Dennis, there you go. He catches out Bialy on Cat, pins him to the wall, and now it's going to be Neo going for another aggressive play, doing massive damage to Crims, dropping him down to 6 HP. And now this changes it up. This baits it. Taz has the op, and he gets the kill. Takes out flusha, who had full HP. The perfect kill, but then Dennis in mid is going to take out Neo, and it's just all over the place right now. 1v2 for Crims, who has 6 HP, and Snacks doesn't even let him get onto the site. Nice wallbang shot going through the doors there.
That was a very nice cross shot. Snacks definitely turning up and top fragging on the VP side.
You know why it worked? It's because Crims got caught on the red container. You saw that?
Oh, yeah.
He caught the edge of the red container. I bet you that's how he got shot.
It's not impossible. What a way, what a mad round that was. 2 opening frags for VP, and still it turns into a big struggle for them. So They need to come up with some big rounds here where they don't lose anybody, and they've already lost Pasha in this round. A lot more is needed right here.
Oh, no surprise there, right? Well, let's see. Snacks, Neo, Taz, Bialy. If they can find something, Snacks slowly backing out, trying to check barrels at top mid. See if he can find a target there, but the flash is going to force him back, and that allows fnatic to get up onto Catwalk. And now they're pretty much scot-free. They can get up there and start applying the pressure. Both players here, however, playing aggressive on Cat. Neo waiting for the flash to go in. Incendiary there as well. The force flush out into the open, and that drops the bomb. Somehow, VP, they get the key frag here to turn it around for him. Smoke goes down to try and block off the bomb, give them a chance to get it back here, fnatic, but Neo's not going to let him. He's pushed up aggressive.
Crim's going to go down as well. Dennis trying to get the refrag. It's still a 3-on-3. They got to be careful because they're being flanked as well. Dennis coming up with 2 huge kills. And fnatic back with the bomb. Taz, what do you even do at this point?
You run away and you hide. Unless he can get a kill within the next, well, I mean, as that bomb gets planted, like, he needs to have every second to work with. If he can catch out JW is low, but JW's playing it fairly safe over at Longhouse. It looks like he's got that scout as well. That's not going to help him versus Taz, who has full HP. Oh, no way that Taz doesn't check this angle. No way. No way. Come on.
The thing is, you do it if you were a terrorist coming in, but his focus is just somewhere else at that point in time. What a way to end the round and make it 9-3 as we move into the very late stages of this first half. And just merciless play here from JW. It looked like he even saw it coming like miles away.
He was just, that's the Hail Mary as well. He's just sitting there. Whoa, Olaf tagging Flesha. That's awkward. But yeah, he just saw that coming miles away. He's just like, if I die, great. I can trust in my teammates to hold the line if I get taken out. And somehow Virtus.pro aren't on the B site and allow Dennis to sneak his way out.
And what I mean, if it was bad getting knifed, imagine what it must be like just giving up the B-bomb side for no reason. Just because you're a little bit too preoccupied fighting in middle and having a presence there. And Dennis just blindly walking in. Simply taking the risk, and it pays off. They shouldn't even try and go for this retake, which you can kind of tell they're not.
Now they're waiting to see what they can come up with. Snacks and Taz are low. Crims is still kind of chilling up here on Catwalk. It's just, yeah, there we go. Snacks, he catches out JW. That was JW peeking at window. There's still 3 players alive on the site, and Crims is still waiting to see if he can't catch somebody out of position over here on A site. But it doesn't look like Bialy. Is that Bialy? No, it looks like Pasha playing by cars on A. So Crims shouldn't get anything done. Well, I spake too soon. He catches Snacks, who was low, but they need to get a second player over here to pick up that AWP VP.
They definitely do. What a devastating start here for fnatic. I mean, it seems to me like VP are more tuned in than they were yesterday, but they're also playing a team that's so much rougher, right? So I'm sort of wondering if I would say VP are more alive than they are today than they are yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, Snacks has shown up somewhat. So, I mean, it's Bialy who's struggling right now individually, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just, yeah, that's the problem. Like, you're not going to get that gap closed when you're playing against the best team in the world. Like, you're not allowed to make any mistakes. And timing is perfect for Wolfmeister. He doesn't fall for the trick. That's an old Smith's flash, basically.
Especially because I think he saw the shoulder before the flash actually went over, so he had a very good idea that someone was going to be there. Bialy going to go down. It's a 2 kills favoring fnatic. No reply for the Polish side either. I mean, there are a bunch of rounds early on that were down to sort of 1v2s and 1v1s. So if some of those go VP's way, we have a different game on our hands. But this is obviously a little bit easier said than done.
Yeah, just the clutches, not. I mean, you can win the duels, but if you're not winning those clutch rounds, this is what happens. This is what it looks like. And wow, man, if Taz peeks in here and JW snacks him, yeah, just they can't catch a break here, Virtus.pro. Trying to take a risk to get some info to figure out where fnatic are going with it.
Snacks out in the open. Bit of a tough position because either he's facing long where there's an ult waiting, or he's going to be just overwhelmed by everyone coming out of Catwalk. So not really, didn't seem winnable in almost anyway. Neo, again, tasked with just saving the AWP for what's about to be the 15th round.
I was wondering, because they have so much money. If all 5 players survive for fnatic, Flesha, he picked up an AWP.
I mean, they will almost certainly go for the
like
ops.
The 5 ops, right?
Yeah,
I don't tag him in mid.
I would always say, why wouldn't you do that?
Neo's putting up one hell of a fight here. He's making it expensive. Nice dunk nade there on the Crims. Little does he know, however, Flusha's waiting in the wings. He's coming through window right now, and yeah, easy kill for Flusha. Catches out Neo. That's an op saved if he wants it, but looks like it's just going to be Olafmeister holding on to it in the end. Yeah, Dennis has got 12K. They can do whatever they want. They could have that auto sniper option if they wanted to. Yeah, double op, triple op. And Dennis, you got the money, bro. You got the money. But he doesn't have the spawn.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. But this is even better. If he runs into B like he did last time and they're all shooting down middle, you see the hesitation here? That can definitely hurt VP a lot. They are finally in the B-bomb side. But you see Dennis, I think he wanted to see if he could beat the timing here. He goes for the initial fight. Taz, close range with the FAMAS taking a kill early on. And not a bad start for VP.
Yeah, good pressure here. Taz able to hold, and that's so crucial. Molotov is going to force him out into the open, however. And wow, JW through the smoke. The timing is impeccable. He was just putting shots through on a plateau, hoping to catch out Snacks, and he gets Taz instead. So it looked like a good start there for VP, but it all just crumbles. And now, advantage Fnatic, even man situation here, 4-on-4, and they're still camping in T-spawn, waiting for a kill there. They're still waiting for somebody to peek at mid doors. Yeah, they're actually looking for the wall bangs at this point. Crim's just hoping to get lucky.
Yeah, because why not? I mean, it is a 4-on-4, but Neo and Bialy, limited equipment, even Pasha with just the scout here. This is just a devastating start to this best of 2 here for Virtus.pro. And you know, again, considering how they were playing yesterday, you start to wonder if there's like a general pattern here of them just not being quite on form right now. Bialy, he will trade the kill, or at least trade a little bit back, but it's 3-on-3 still, 35 seconds left.
Yeah, unfortunately, he gets the shoulder shot on JW instead of the headshot up close at the 5-7. That would have been an instant kill. Instead, it's a push up at long. They're feeling the heat right now. Great flash timing. Oh, actually, no, that was a team flash. That's unfortunate. So I have to say, the anti-flash from VP, that would have been sick because that literally kept their 2 players alive. But then Flusha, he's got the high ground advantage. He takes out Neo, and he knows he's got a second man pinned down there in CT. Neo gets caught, and it's just going to be Pasha now with the scout. Both players are low for Fnatic, though, so there's a chance here for Pasha. Always a chance. And let's see if he can get it right. Molotov, he's going to dodge it neatly. There's the first shot, and that was the only chance he had. He needed to get the first one down. Even then, though, both players were stacked up, so. You know what, Anders? Fnatic right now, what they're saying, they're quoting a great man. They're saying, you know, you come at the king, you best not miss.
That's JW even likes to use a shotgun every once in a while, so it makes sense. What's so brutal about this is also just that we've had, you know, a full year of 2015 where Fnatic were just the reigning masters of everything, and you know, the beginning of this year it seems to be no different. They're just very, very hard to compete against.
Ever since the roster changed, they've won every LAN they've attended. Yes, they have won every. I had a little bit of a brain fart there, but yes, they have. I mean, they're just monsters, man. They're just monsters. And now Olaf, you know, even trying to just, you know, go ahead and push a little bit up in mid, see if he couldn't get lucky finding somebody holding T-spawn. Not going to be the case. Instead, VP, they're going to leave a man behind in pit. Pasha with the Glock, long distance. Not the best fight you want to take with the CT because of the USP and the P2K. There's no range on the headshot there, whereas the Glock, you'll need 2 shots. Well, let's see. Dennis, there's the spot. Spot's out 2. Still playing the angle, though, and he's a little hesitant. Neo gets the punish, and even gets the headshot on JW through the mid doors.
Flusha with a nice shot once, but Neo going to tag him down. Olaf, second kill of the round for him. He's looking for more, and it is a 2v3. Still so much time left here. Snack's going to get the 1 kill in, so now it's an even situation. With the time left here, Snacks and Neo, they need to find a way to make sure that Fnatic don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, the flick. Neo down to 19.
Playing with fire there, Neo. But they know at least that Olafmeister, they knew that both CT players were up on the A side. Olaf gets the angle wrong. Perfect flash to set it up there for Neo to push up on a catwalk. And now this could be the moment here. Easy shot, but Neo somehow lives. He's down to 3 HP now. And Crims, what does he do? He doesn't have Kevlar, but he has a kit, so he has a little bit of extra time to work with. 40-second long bomb plus the 5 seconds shaved off.
Wow, and the fact that Neo is still alive seems almost absurd at this point. Crims, definitely a good player to have in this kind of situation, but he needs to target somewhere, and they're not giving it to him. Fnatic's come up with a double, Neo with the triple, and Virtus.pro going to win a critical pistol round here. Fnatic, you got to wonder if they're going to take that. They can actually buy 2 scouts as well if they want to.
They can? Curious. I mean, we're going to have a Deagle coming out on Crims, and there, yeah, single scout on Flusha. So Dennis, Olaf, the rest of them. I mean, it's a straight force buy. I don't think there's any surprise there. Fnatic, this is
Look at
kind of like the
VP, though.
Envy. It's their calling card. I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised by VP though.
Yeah.
That's quad SMGs versus what you know is going to be a force when you're playing against some of the most lethal pistol players in the world.
Right now, VP is shooting each other down at long, so that is not going to be the optimal way of going about starting the round here. Crims showing the deagle a little bit, and again, only Neo could really fight at this range. The rest of them, they're going to come out short, and there's exactly what he's going to be doing, taking out Flusher.
That's the scout down as well. Olaf gets caught by Bialy. That was up on Catwalk, it looked like. And well, now the push begins, but double kill coming in here for VP. Crims trying to do the best that he can. He nearly gets that second deagle shot. There's the first. Manages to land the bullet on Bialy, but again, only a MAC-10 to work with, or rather, the MP7 still, an SMG. Not the best gun to go for a retake, and so they're going to back off and try and hold on to some of the gear that they have here, Fnatic, for the next round. This is the correct move by Fnatic, though. You aren't going to retake 2v4 on the A site, especially when VP have a life lead like this, so just hold on to what you got.
What would make me happy is if they would give the gun to JW. Just because he's going to be buying the AWP later on. If they get a kill with the SMG, might as well be him to make the extra money, rather than Crims, who's going to be just buying rifles. So
Straight up rifle, yeah.
Small detail.
Let's see if JW can actually find something here, though. Nobody's going to be pushing up to top mid, it looks like, so he should be fine. They're playing it very safe right now, VP, and as well they should. They don't want to be giving any extra money over to Fnatic. It's good that you mentioned that, because that's the main thing here. You know, one of these kills, a kill with a pistol, a kill with an SMG, that's a couple of nades in somebody's pocket, so you definitely want to dodge that if you're VP. Make this next buy, this buy round coming up for Fnatic as difficult as possible. So, a couple of rifles now. Bialy going to cut to the chase and go ahead and upgrade to an AK. And they don't actually trade it up. Instead, it looks like we might have some full YOLO coming out here from VP, but no, I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Well, they've already got JW trapped in the corner. He's got armor and a C set, and he's not going to be able to get the shot through. And Pasha not even stopping to take that spray home. Grenade into the middle, and actually he's going to get the headshot on Dennis. That's very nicely done. Pasha showing up big here with the MAC-10. Might as well keep going as well. They know Fnatic are going to have enough to buy in the upcoming round. So Taz taking out all of Mike's run. Flusher going to go down. A lot of SMG kills that round for VP. It's going to tie, or he's going to bring it back to 12-6 here. And we'll see no AWP being picked up by Fnatic.
No AWP. Crims could have bought one glass cannon. Flusher could have as well. But neither of them are the primary oppers. So Olaf Meister not going to have the money. He was $50 short. So again, like that's what, you know, these clean anti-eco rounds coming out from VP, that makes the difference. That really does. Because that could have been Olaf Meister picking up an AWP, for example, if anything, if something had gone his way. But there's the setup. And again, wow, very aggressive play here and already lighting him up. Dennis and JW both getting kills here from Catwalk into Lower Dark. Taz and Bialy, they stuck around and they just lost that fight flat out, not even dealing a single point of damage to the two CT players.
You'd almost wish they could have waited and coordinated with Snacks, who was coming up from sort of top mid, so at least the Fnatic players would have had a little bit less of a chance. Maybe a grenade or anything really coming out from Snacks would have probably helped out a bit. Again, a tough way to start the round here. Dennis sneaking on in, that smoke is there, but you got to wonder if someone's going to flash Dennis in. It could be JW, and that would be a brutal way to set it up. Pasha trying to sneak in, he gets the kill, but he gets traded. And that works out just fine for Fnatic.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want. Maintain that man advantage. Although Snacks, he's got the angle. Full flash, though. And now he's going to have to give away his position. Takes a shot, hopes to get lucky, and it's not going to work out for him. He might be able to catch the man out of position here. Flusha in CT. Flusha steps into it. And a perfect shot from Snacks. Could get the follow-up, but he misses the flick on Olaf. And Olaf not going to win the duel versus Neo, but he did so much damage to Neo now. So with 40 seconds left, Neo's down to 34 HP, and, well, it seems like Fnatic have got the read as well, because Crims, he's rotating back into mid, so he should be able to get over to that A site to support Dennis fairly quickly here.
Yeah, well, let's see. 25 seconds. It's just not a lot of time here, and he's going to get spotted by Dennis as well. Great headshot from Neo. That's going to make it a double. Crims does not have a grenade, which would have been the most devastating way for Neo to lose this round, I think. Now, he just needs one solid headshot. Actually going to go and challenge, and that's great. He knows where Crims is coming from. Crims walking up into range. Oh, Neo! I think if he had stopped, then he would have been able to get the one tab in, but he was still strafing just a little bit. And Fnatic going to make it to 13 rounds. And VP with a real chance there.
what a fantastic round from VP. They may lose it, sure, but they drop it down to a 1v1. They might try it. Well, Crims isn't going to be able to make it over there to pick up the AWP fast enough. Yeah, neither of them, the one on Catwalk or the one in CT. But still, like, this is forcing Olaf, yeah, obviously Olaf, but fnatic to spend all of their money here. And it's not going to be like the super solid buy. flusha has to skimp and go for a UMP. JW with an MP9? That's a surprising choice, but then JW, he has an eclectic taste in weapons. Snacks with the wall bang on Crims, though. All right.
Simply a double up setup coming out from the VP side, but you're right. This fnatic team definitely been winning a lot of clutches here on Dust 2. There's been so many of them as well. So many 1v1s and 1v2s so far, and it seems like fnatic have just every single time come out on top. Which is
murderous, man.
A bit heartbreaking for me because they have the kills. Neo and Snacks are doing wonderfully right now, getting kills on the fnatic players. They just can't get the clutches through.
Let's see, can fnatic actually, get some kind of control back in this situation? And it doesn't look like it. They're actually just backing off. They're allowing VP to get up onto the site unchallenged. They hold, so long as they control long, at least they have that going for them. fnatic's still kind of hanging around in mid. The only problem is you've got Neo waiting up there at top mid for him, and he might be able to get some free kills here. Lines him up, picks up one, drops JW down to half HP, but Olafmeister's there to take out Bialy. And now does Neo actually make it out of this situation alive? Of course not, because there was the man pushing out from long. That was JW. Well, Dennis pushed from long, but still. He was about to get caught in a crossfire, so there just was no surviving there for Neo.
It looks like they want to at least keep them contained, but oh, Dennis gets a shot. Now he's at long. They can't hide anymore. Dennis making quick work of Taz and Pasha. And there's going to be enough time for the defuse as well. They have kits up on that site. What a terrible way to end that round. As soon as Dennis opens up that angle, all of their defensive positions up there become void, and they just cannot stay alive. 14-6.
I'm amazed. Pasha, why are all three members of VP watching Catwalk?
Yeah.
What is that? That should never happen. Dennis should die instantly. Like, Pasha should be waiting for him with that AWP holding long. Or somebody should be watching long. Maybe some miscommunication.
Oh.
Okay, we're good. We're back. But maybe some miscommunication there on VP's side as far as who was holding what. But that is so painful for VP. That was the moment. There's no way that fnatic should win that round.
A good shot comes through. JW picking up a double kill in the middle. He could have probably just fallen back then and actually stayed safe, but he wanted to scope it up, see if he can make it work. Snacks going in for it here, and he's going to shut down Olafmeister. Got to bring it back into a 2-on-2 with both Dennis and flusha pushing upper dark to try and see if they can make it into the site. Now they've been spotted. They know already. Snacks going for the fight. He takes one. He's going to get shot down by Dennis, and now it's Bialy, and he wins the fight against Dennis. So it's now VP just crawling their way up to half the round score. Fnatic at 7-14.
Slowly but surely. And surely we're not going to see a buy out of Fnatic in this situation, even if JW has $5 grand. They should eat a round of eco to the teeth right now. Just, invest in some pistols, quasi-buy.
I don't know why JW didn't just sort of fall back after getting the 2 kills in the middle. That would have been such an easy move.
Yeah, that was questionable. Still, Fnatic, they want to just get in there and end it, basically. And, well, same could be said here for VP, man. They're taking control of the situation once they figure out that this is an eco round. Pasha getting a little ahead of himself there with the spray, runs out of bullets. But still, this is a perfectly acceptable situation for VP. They've got the man advantage. They've got control of the site. Bomb is planted, and now it kind of leaves Fnatic on the outside. We still have to see VP just kind of keep this kind of mindset, though. They just need to keep moving as a unit. This is a bit like what Fnatic was doing to them earlier. Just rush in, no fear, take the fights, and go for it.
It really concerns me when I keep seeing Pasha going for these kind of fights, Because he obviously did a really good job opening up the bomb side. There was no problem there. They get both kills in the moment. I think Taz picked up the other one, so they should be in a fine position. Like, there's almost no way to lose that, in fact. But why go and fight with like 7 bullets left and just simply run out of bullets and die? When you're playing a team like Fnatic, every small detail like that could matter.
No, that's the thing. Like, well, we just saw flusha. Guy should be dead. but then he still gets a headshot with the P250 when all he can get is a headshot, right? It's just like he needs to get that, and it's just, you give these guys any kind of chance and you're going to get punished. I mean, this is why they're the best in the world. Individually, as a team, they're just so scary, Fnatic. So VP, I mean, at least VP, they're getting more rounds than we saw from them yesterday. They're putting up more of a fight, but it's still so far away from them actually having a chance. They really need to get up above double-digit rounds here before Fnatic are really going to start feeling threatened. I mean, Fnatic, they could have gone for a force buy in this round, but they take a double eco just to make sure that they can full buy and shut VP out of this map in the next round. When they have all the utility, they'll have their AWP. They could go for a double op if they wanted to. So I mean, Fnatic are giving themselves options. They're playing patiently, making sure that they just don't let VP get back into it.
And I think at this point as well, they know on the VP side this is an eco they're playing up against, so they just want to be really careful they don't throw anything away. And I'm glad they're using all these grenades. Nice shot from Neo. JW gonna be out of the round. Flusher also getting slightly overwhelmed, and this is just working out smoothly, I think, for the Polish team. Not much of an issue at all. Krim's going to be going down, and Olofmeister, 1-on-5.
Yeah, hoping for the bait. Unfortunately, Krim's is like, I trusted you, Olof. I trusted you to have my back. Olof was like, yeah, I was watching your back. It was great, man. Easy shots.
Now
easy
step
shots.
aside and let me get some kills.
Fnatic, though, double op. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so JW and Olof. This is expected. Olof can actually afford to go for, full Kevlar helmet with the AWP. So he's not going to be too worried. I mean, even with an AK, it's not going to help, but if he runs into a pistol somewhere, having that helmet can make the difference. They do manage to not get gapped this time either, so that's nice. So Fnatic right now setting up nicely. VP going straight back to default, though.
Let's see if this bit of ecoing from Fnatic has actually given them the tools they need to close out this game, because I don't know. Like, VP, I think, are showing us a lot more right now. Because the scoreline is 14-9, it still seems like Fnatic are running away with the game. But if you take all the clutches into account, I mean, this still has been maybe a slightly closer score, or a slightly closer game than the scoreline would actually suggest. Opening frag from JW onto Neo, though, is obviously a huge thing. And now let's see Pasha can do anything to bring it back. He's behind there, and JW hardly even standing up behind the box, still picking up the kill. He goes down to Snacks finally, but they need one more kill in this bomb site. It's Crims in the corner. He takes down Taz, and that was all he had to do. That kill alone will make it so hard now for VP to win the round.
Yep, so long as Fnatic don't get impatient. That's the main thing here. So already the nade's going out. Snacks has got a Molotov as well, so that could be used later to cancel out the bomb. Or to just, be able to cut off upper dark, considering the smoke should be clearing. So Olofmeister, he's going to have a line onto Plateau now, where Bialy's going to be playing from with the AK. We almost want to see Snacks back there with that AK. There's an Incendiary going out, forcing Bialy out into the open. Olofmeister with the repeak. Bialy only going to be able to take the one man with him, and now it's down to Snacks with the AWP, expecting something from window, but unfortunately for him, nobody's coming through, and he just gets overwhelmed. Match point here for Fnatic, 15 rounds on the board. And they can even save both AWPs. They'll have the time to make it, so this is perfect for Fnatic. Whereas VP, money-wise, they should be all right. They get the bomb plant. Yeah, they're just perfectly fine. They can full buy, do whatever they want. Just a little surprising to see VP really going for, like, one after another, right? Into upper dark like that with the challenge. Like, Neo dies. He was shoulder peeking, so he's trying to bait the shot out. He was doing it with his AK, so he was a little slower, and JW was quick enough to land the shot, but then Pasha just kind of, like, walks out there alone. I'm surprised that they didn't just have both ops watching there, because everybody was in upper dark. So if Pasha gets control of the angle, why wasn't Snacks, watching and waiting with him to just trade instantly and not give JW a third chance to pick somebody off?
Oh, Pasha. Playing a really, really long waiting game there. Just, for the first 10 seconds just waiting and not showing himself. Then goes for it very late with the peek in the middle. Now they're trying to see if they can make their way out. Flusher comes into it. There's still one guy holding outside of B, and that's Crims. Comes back in, but Taz takes his face off. And now it is going to be a 2 versus 4 here. And Fnatic probably better off just trying to save what they have right now.
VP have been putting in some work, though.
Yeah.
VP are definitely getting in. I mean, that was a clever play from Pasha. Then the quick execute towards B, no hesitation whatsoever. I mean, it's refreshing to see Virtus.pro playing at a pretty, high level, honestly, versus Fnatic right now on this map, which we really haven't seen much from them. It's kind of been their bane. It hasn't been since, like, 2014 that these guys have been a real, terror on Dust 2. Pretty much for the entirety of 2015, they just hated this map. So to see them actually, getting in there, taking the fight to them, it's pretty solid work here from VP. So I'm wondering if, is this just like a trial by fire, where they've been putting some practice in, trying to, figure out Dust 2, and they're like, okay, we'll leave Dust 2 in. If we get it, then we'll be able to try and, put into practice what we've been practicing, what we've been actually, scrimming earlier.
Great kill from Taz there. I mean, it's hard to say right now, but it's definitely working out really well. It's putting a smile on my face because what we bring up yesterday when they were playing, Katowice is not that far away. Yeah. So having a sort of dysfunctional Virtus.pro team going into that tournament would definitely be disappointing. And what we're seeing here is that they are not. Yesterday, you can't write it off. They weren't playing well. Today, slow start, I would definitely say. But now that they're fired up, you can tell that they definitely still have it, and that's very good to see. Especially for all the Polish fans out there, obviously. Going to be excited about what's happening here. They could definitely take this to overtime. I still think Fnatic are favored to win this map, obviously, but it's not impossible right now. VP playing with a lot of fire in their heart, and it's going to be up to Dennis trying to see if he can do a little bit more damage here, but not going to be happening. And that will make it 11-15.
Yeah, they're running it back, and it's another double eco situation here for Fnatic. It's not going to give them many chances to close it down, but then again, they eat this double eco, and then Fnatic, with the round loss bonus, they should be getting to the point where they can just force up every time. So let's see. I mean, they are still so good with the pistols.
I was going almost off of script there for a while, just saying, yeah, it's the same thing, VP, is not really taking things seriously, and they're not showing up, they're not really doing anything here, and then suddenly they are.
They definitely woke up.
Yeah.
After that first half from Fnatic, I was definitely expecting, them to just get rolled in the second half and then move on to the next map. But yeah, VP have definitely woken up here. All right, there's the flash into mid. Olaf was waiting, and Olaf was turned away. Perfect play from Olaf, and he even dodges the wallbang shot. So now he has an AK to work with. He's a threat, and he should be playing passive angles as well, because if he wants, he can hold on to that AK for the next round, and that would be really nice for him. That AK is so lethal with the one-shot headshot potential.
Problem is when you're at 15 rounds with your Fnatic here, and Overpass is going to go down. I think actually VP, it might be in the back of their heads. Not out of all the ways we could lose this game, let's not have it be due to a stolen AK. Yeah, that'd be devastating.
Let's not let it happen to. Please, no, not like this. Yeah.
Yeah. Dennis hiding far back, wants to be able to get a little bit closer in the middle here. Crim's actually taking up Olaf's position. They're feeding more people to him. Snacks could have gone down as well. He's down to half HP, but there is nobody in B right now. So VP seem to have made the correct choice. They've even spotted that Flusher here at about 40 seconds left. And Flusher going down. Dennis showing up with the AK and takes out one. Steals a second AK and goes for a bit of a fight as well. Neo going to finally best him. And that will make it 15-12 here.
If he'd had Kevlar there, he wins that duel versus Neo.
Yeah, I think so.
If he'd had Kevlar and no aim punch, if he didn't get aim punch there, I bet you he wins that duel versus Neo and run to a 1v1. Whew, so close.
And now it's double up versus double up.
Yeah, they're just going ham right now. They have the money. Yeah, there we go. Triple op. Element of surprise here from Virtus.pro. They really want to pick somebody off. There we go. The tag on a JW, but not the kill. Even with all three, they are going to be able to get into position. However, if JW goes for an aggressive peek, he should get punished.
And look at this play from Dennis here. This is some classic Dennis stuff. And he always seems to do it alone as well, without any kind of backup. Pasha obviously could never know that this is coming. And yeah, Dennis, a couple of more steps forward, and that's going to be a beautiful opening frag. Not only the kill, but the rest of VP now have to be concerned about the fact that, yeah, that whatever plan they had going on this side of the map, they have to go back and at least make sure that Dennis is not there anymore. This is a tough position to be in.
Yeah, they have to worry about the quick collapse onto them. And Olafmeister was up on the side as well. So now, easy shot for Olaf. He can hit that all day. Dodges the flash as well. So now Neo, he's going to have a bit of a tough order here. They're still battling. Snacks finding kills, but then Dennis double spray for him, and he spots out Snacks in mid as well. So it's not even going to work here for Virtus.pro. 1v3. He's got the AWP. If he can pick up an AK here, he might have a shot at it. But that bomb is out in the middle of nowhere, dude.
Yeah, I don't even know what kind of god tier play would have to be come up with here for Snacks to actually make this work. 43 seconds left. And a 1-on-3. And they know where the bomb is. They know where he is as well now with that grenade. Everything is going to get so tough from here on out. He's being flanked as he's walking out. Where's that peek going to come through? Dennis, did he see the top of the face? It seemed like he should have been able to there. Not quite yet. Picks up the bomb. Smoke up once. And there's Olaf with a kill. And it will be Fnatic. Finally putting an end to VP here. But not as easy as it seemed initially, which I think is very encouraging.
Yeah, no, that was that was really impressive from Virtus.pro. It's a total turnaround from what we saw yesterday, man.
Yeah.
Because yesterday they just, it was kind of like what we saw from NaVi tonight. Honestly, they just never really showed up. It wasn't the Virtus.pro we're used to seeing. Tonight, all of a sudden they're hitting some shots. They're actually, you know, playing as a cohesive unit, whereas yesterday they were running in one after another every time they tried to execute a strat. Tonight we actually saw something from VP on Dust 2. The fact that fnatic are obviously more experienced and more comfortable on the map, that played a factor. It took a while for Virtus.pro to wake up, but it's good to see that Virtus.pro are willing to play Dust 2 and actually hit, you know, a reasonable level on it.
Well, I mean, all those clutches that we were talking about, right? If they were going to get rolled like, you know, 16-3, and you say, oh, if they won some clutches, maybe it would have been like 16-9 instead. You're like, yeah, maybe they still lose the game. But when it gets this close, those clutches are what win or lose the game. So actually, if VP just win a couple of them, suddenly we have a real game in our hands, and they maybe take it away. So actually,
you know what's going to be kicking them right now, or what they're going to be kicking themselves about, is that one round, 3 on A, and they're all looking catwalk, and Dennis comes out and just wrecks them from long.
Dennis, yeah, that's true.
Imagine they win that round right there. If they don't make that mistake of miscommunicating who's watching what.
Absolutely possible, absolutely possible.
Yeah.
But it's not the final map. We do have one more between Virtus.pro and fnatic. Now they're warmed up. I really want to see them come back here and see if they could do something interesting. It'll be right after the break.
They've Overpass, like they were aggressive. They've, you know, always challenged. They made the terrorists use up all their time trying to get to the sites. They never allowed them to just, you know, walk up and set up on the site for free. So this is obviously past fnatic. Now, you know, is that current fnatic? I mean, we'll find out. But if Dennis keeps playing the way that he is, Dust 2, Dennis, man, he came in with some big rounds. Olaf as well had a really strong start. So I mean, individually, it looks like fnatic are fired up.
Yeah, I can't even pinpoint anyone on Fnatic side right now that don't seem to be in their element. So yeah, that's obviously a problem for everybody on the VP side. But I hope they can carry in the sort of the warm up that they got on Dust 2, the reality check there, and say, you know, if they want to win Overpass here, it's gonna have to be a strong showing right off the bat. They can't just let Fnatic get the first, you know, 7 rounds without much of a fight and then show up and be like, all right, let's do this. It's got to be earlier than that.
Yeah, that would be unacceptable. And I like how everybody's going back to MP9 knives, you know, or not the M9 bayonets, you know. We've only got one set of Shadow Daggers when everybody was using Shadow Daggers when they came out. It's good, boys. It's good. Shadow Daggers are horrible.
I still haven't had any Shadow Daggers. I feel like I'm being left out.
You know, neither have I, and that doesn't bother me.
That doesn't bother you, all right.
I got my tilt knife, and that's good enough.
Here's what I keep thinking is, not to get like all, you know, too caught up in the details or anything, but I keep thinking if you did like punch someone with the shadow knives, is there like a pretty good chance you would actually break your fingers as well? I feel like the sort of the force going back into your fingers, like
because it's not brass knuckles.
No,
you don't have the support of like the other rings around your fingers.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it'd be.
What was that? Because that used to be a trench knife. That was it. It was a trench knife. Back when they what was it, like World War I, World War II? They used to have like brass knuckles, and then they'd have a spike coming out of the bottom of it. You know, nasty. Wouldn't be fun to run into that guy.
That's uncomfortable, definitely.
When are we gonna have that in CSGO? Let's get some reality in here. They're like absolutely illegal everywhere in the world, but I mean, hell, CSGO video game. Come on.
I think all of these knives are illegal, to be honest. To almost wherever you are. Not going to be too much of that.
Not in the States, bro.
Obviously not.
Obvious. Everything's legal in the States.
So that's why it's such a great place. We've got Virtus.pro playing on the CT side. We've got fnatic here on the terrorist side. And again, this is our hot match for the day, so we'll see how it's going to turn out. fnatic being very quick and aggressive in checking out the restrooms here. They've already got a lot of map control, but they are eventually going to run into Pasha here. Smoke goes up right at the edge. Pasha on the other side, and Flusher taking down Snacks, who was there to help him out. Great shot from Pasha. Actually runs back and trades places with JW. He's going to try and see if he can look for the kill. JW on the other side. That Smoke's going to fade any second. Only 7 bullets left here for Pasha, while Taz is tearing it up in the meantime, getting a kill. And Crims, he's going to go down. So JW so patient and waiting, and by the time the waiting's done, so's the rest of his team, and Taz picking up a total of 3 kills in that pistol round. A great start for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, what a fantastic performance from Taz, locking it down. It all worked out so perfectly for Virtus.pro. The fact that Pasha's there to just delay the push further, and then Taz holding the line on the side itself. It was that constant threat of a crossfire, of a backstab, that was just keeping fnatic, well, locked down, bogged down in front of the A site. That's the kind of thing that's really going to start off VP super strong here. If they feel like things are going their way, you know, they're landing their shots, but, you know, they're getting the lucky break as well. That's perfect. And so now, well, a little bit of just a little bit of pressure showing up here in connector. Snacks going for the deep smoke. Not going to try and set up the one-way.
But look, who's right behind JW, walking through the C7 Snacks. This has got to be, I mean, it's almost ironic that the Snacks that he catches, but that's got to be so annoying. Whenever someone does that, you're just shaking your hand and thinking he just walked through the smoke.
Yeah. You're just like, oh, the pain. Woe is me. And here I was cursing them, saying, you know, things are going their way. You know, they got some luck on their side. Snacks just like, thanks, Semler. Thanks.
See if it's going to backfire on him. I mean, all he did steal was an MP9, so hopefully it won't be too bad. We'll see if it's going to change anything. Getting close to this B-bomb site where Bialy's holding a little bit further back as well. They do have Taz, so they've got some defense here, but this against Armor is not going to be great. He's down to 1 health as well, and no chance for Bialy. And right now, no frags being replied with here for Virtus.pro. Just all Fnatic all the way. Finally, all of Meister going to go down here, and some backup is showing up. Neo coming in with a P90 as well, doing a lot of damage, and it's back into a 2-on-2. He's not hitting these bullets, though, out of them, and now jumping on his face is going to be Crims, and Pasha goes down. What a round. Dennis with the double, and JW with 2 kills as well.
What in the Sam hell just happened is what I'm wondering. How are Fnatic A allowed to get up onto that site for free? Where was Taz to back up Bialy? Like, no, Bialy was just alone, dead, done, and nothing Taz could do to actually back that up. He did manage to catch the man pushing aggressively, but somehow Virtus.pro, they just throw that away against the pistols.
Yeah, I kind of agree. That actually is a slightly asinine setup, because Bialy could do the same job that he was doing there by just being on the ramp instead. Then he can fall back and they can both do something. Yeah, I don't know.
It was an interesting setup once you see it actually happen. Well, as it stands, it is going to be a force buy from VP, so they decide to just, you know, go ahead, keep that pressure up on Fnatic if they can. They've already done some damage with the scout on Dennis, but then Flusha shows that, hey, I picked up a FAMAS, and it's a rifle, and Neo, you're dead. That scout not going to get anything done now. Taz, though, with the backstab, he's actually going to be able to pick up one of these kills. JW is down, and so now Fnatic, well, they realize that they can just power up onto this A side, it looks like. They even catch out Pasha.
I mean, it seems a bit shame for us watching it here, because it looked like Pasha had a great chance to sneak up and get at least 1 kill in there. But when you hear someone running that much, you could also be thinking, are they trying to fake it out? Are they using the sound to fool me? And are they actually waiting right around the corner? So, yeah, it's hard to judge Pasha too much for that one, but he did miss the timing. Whether or not he knew it or not is a different matter. Now, Dennis doing work with a jumping scout here, going to be shutting down Bialy, and only 2 people die for Fnatic as they bring it back here to a 2-1 scoreline, and VP still cannot buy.
Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable as far as Fnatic are concerned as well. 3 people alive. They keep the scout, which is going to be effective in this round. VP on a hard eco. Fnatic knew what was up. They knew that they were playing against Kevlar, and so they know now this round they can farm up if they want to. That's why Olafmeister is just like, I'll just go with the dig, get some nades, go ahead and you know, just take the fight straight up. I wouldn't have been surprised to see him go for a Mac 10 or something along those lines, but they'll just decide to stick on the pistol for now. And Fnatic, they're just not showing any fear whatsoever. It's going to be a very fast execute here onto the B site. Luckily for VP, again though, they make the correct call as far as the stack. They've got 5 players waiting for him here.
Bit of a grenade, but they're all sort of trapped behind there. I'm not sure this is the best setup to have this many people on the bomb site. Bialy doing really good work getting the double kill in, but they're still very low on health here. 1 health as well on Crims, and Dennis very nearly dead. It might not be quite over yet. If they could just find Dennis, it's actually a 2v1, and there's the shot. Now it's all on Flusha. I mean, he's got 1 bullet for either player, and that's all it takes. But he has to actually get up here, and they got the bomb covered as well. Bialy gonna go down. Neo, if you wait and let him closer, it's gonna be a 1-shot with this P250.
That's such a scary situation for Flusha as well. Because no matter how much damage has been dealt to Neo, he needs to hit the headshot at this angle. He's going to try and push forward here, see if he can't close that. So spots out Toxic, sees nobody waiting for him there. Turns away as Neo peeks from pit. And let's see if he can react in time. The wall bang, yeah, it's just too much of a threat for Neo. Neo really just needed to get super lucky there to be able to pull that off. And unfortunately, Flusha, he was trying to pick up the P250. He gets the Glock instead. So no luck for him this time. But still, what an expensive round for Fnatic. I mean, yeah. VP, that was perfect. They couldn't have gone better for him.
Now, I don't want to be that guy, but just imagine what would have happened if they had someone with a flashbang. So that when they're all there, instead of just staying in the pit, sort of weirdly taking fights, throw the flashbang and fight instead.
No, that's true. That is true. That $200 investment, you want to see teams make it a little bit more often, but instead they wanted to try and prioritize this round here, get that full buy going. get every nade possible here to hold off Fnatic. Fnatic, though, they've got a full buy of their own. They have all the nades necessary. Not a single Molotov, though, so that's a little distressing. When it comes to the actual execute, they won't be able to clear out any angles with it. So we'll see what they have in store. Fnatic, not usually a team that's known to go for full executes either. Usually just a couple nades in and then run and gun. We'll see if what they have in store for us here, because they're playing so passively right now. They want to... Basically, they're trying to deal rope out right now, waiting for VP to hang themselves. And it might happen, although Pasha and Snacks have a very creative hold going on, stacked up one on top of the other like this.
Yeah, it's going to be frustrating trying to actually peek that angle, because they're exactly the same line. Just a slight level difference.
Yeah, that's very cool. Then again, a big spray would be pretty painful. But yeah, there you go. The AWP, not the perfect weapon for that scenario. And well, now Dennis, he's on the wrong side of the smoke as well. Spots out Snacks, takes the fight, loses it. Snacks coming through big right now for VP. 2 kills for him. He gets dropped down to 34, but still the damage is done. And they don't even let up the pressure here, VP. So long as these smokes stay in place, they can just keep Fnatic locked out of this site. 25 seconds left on this clock. Fnatic are running out of time. They need to come up with something big here. And Olofmeister, he's having to walk his way onto the site because he knows that they're waiting right there in front of Restroom on the other side of the wall, so they would hear his steps. Flusha going to try and throw a bit of a fake here, trying to throw Virtus.pro off balance. But he's got the bomb, so if he dies, that is it. It's done.
Yeah, I think they want to try and use Crims to open up that bomb site. If Crims could have walked in, because he was the first one in, and the other two were sort of waiting to see what happened, right? When Crims goes down, there's not really much of a plan left. I mean, that's just going to be the end of it. Great round and a great comeback into the early stages here for Virtus.pro, making it 2-3. And because they had that previous round where they killed pretty much everybody except for Flusher, I think, the money for Fnatic is just not that great.
No. That's that anti-eco, man. It's really paying off for VP now. Because now, yeah, it's just hard, pretty much a hard eco. 3 Deagles, 2 P250s, some Kevlar invested in it as well. Dennis going for the helmet. But yeah, this is the round really where Virtus.pro, they need to have a perfect anti-eco. They just need to lock it down. You see them, they are taking a little bit of a risk with Pasha deciding to push up at long, but he decides to fall back, and that's the wise thing to do. Just keep the defense consolidated.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're trading or just, firing with 2 guns rather than just getting caught out, potentially giving a gun up to Fnatic, allowing the likes of like Olofmeister or somebody to run around with it. That's how you lose this round if you're Virtus.pro. So just keep your cool, sit on the site, and watch each other's backs.
Fnatic doing their best to check all the angles going into the restroom here. Going to be hard for them to find anybody without giving up a bit of a kill like that. Snacks unscoping at the wrong time.
Thought that was a... Oh. Wait, what?
Crimson
What?
And JW coming into it as well. That's Neo going down. Taz finally getting some work done here with the AK, but he's getting flanked as well, and he's out of bullets. Couldn't complete the spray. So now it is going to be Flusher and Crims left. A double kill for Crims currently. Very low on health, almost with the kill there by Ali. He needs to move quick as well. He needs to find these kills. They can get in and get that defuse home. Flusher on the other side of the boxes. Crims in a really good position here by Ali. Might be slightly aware, but no, he's going to walk right in. And Crims picking up a triple. That'll be Fnatic stealing another round away. Just like in the second here. This is devastating to VP.
That was art. It sucks that Bialy didn't get the spray on Crims, but then for Crims to take advantage of that HE, advantage of the noise to run up close and change his angle to something that Bialy wouldn't expect, that was really cool. That was really smart CS from Crims, just getting right up close and waiting around that spot. So, and if Bialy has to go for that, that opens it up for, well, Crims' teammate to just peek him in the back. So that was perfect, and now it's going to force VP to stay onto pistols. Man, nobody can really establish their economy so far. Nice flash to top mid, and there you go, Anders. Flash pays off in the end, but not really.
I mean, they got a little bit out of it, but the rest of Fnatic, I think, were just too far back, really. So hard for them to follow up on that kill. Neo playing close range here. It was a good idea, but it didn't pay off quite. It's a team ace instead for Fnatic, and a 5-2 lead here. I think VP is one of those teams that do it a bit more than others. And again, it's just when you hear those deagles go out, what is the temptation to try and go and peek them? You know, experienced team like Fnatic, they have so many players that are deadly with them.
They're sick aimers, basically. I mean, just look at this buy coming up from VP, man. They just don't have any money. They have no utility. Not even a single player going for like a FAMAS just to be able to get a full set of nades. Instead, it's just going to come down to really ballsy play. Neo pushing all the way up to top mid. He catches Olofmeister with a knife out. Well, now, I mean, it's that kind of play that's going to make this round work for VP, because if they try and sit back on the sites, they have no nades to buy time with. And Pasha, he's also pushed up the top mid. So this is big. He's in playground. He's looking for that perfect backstab. This is so chaotic. Fnatic, they're never going to see this coming.
Is Pasha going to turn around at the right time? That's a question. Dennis is right there, and he has the bomb as well. He does actually turn around real quick, but JW going to go down to Snacks as well. And that was in connector. So finally, a bit of a refrag coming out. And nice running shot from Pasha. And Flusher going to be very much alone. This is just a strange game early on here. I mean, impossible to figure out how or why these things are happening.
They hadn't gone for anything like ultra aggressive like this VP yet. They've been challenging around mid, around restroom, but pushing all the way up to top to do it with a rifle round as well after a round of eco. Fnatic just got caught completely off guard. They were not expecting it to be that aggressive. They were expecting VP to be playing scared. So that's the kind of play that's really going to turn things around for you if you're VP. Flusha's got the bomb, but little does he know. Awkward. Yeah, Pasha's waiting for him.
Triple kill as well. But, I mean, all this trading, if it keeps going on back and forth like this, Fnatic can buy again. It's obviously going to favor the terrorist side. This is a CT-sided map. So Fnatic are going to be fine with this continuing, even though they'd probably want to win, you know, some of these rounds a bit more convincingly. It's still not that bad. Double up, though, on the VP side. I do like it. See if they can make it work.
Let's see if they decide to go aggressive at Monster now. Aggressive. I mean, they could have the peak.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there we go. Flash from Neo, and it's going to be perfect. They're going to be full blind, all three members for Fnatic as they come through that smoke. All four, in fact. The full duration blind going out there from that flash.
Can't see a single thing. That allows Neo to AWP on the other side of the column if he feels like it. But Fnatic are in there, and the rotation has not been completed by VP. They do need to get a couple of more members down here. The bomb is still on the other side. Fnatic are content right now to just wait out all of these grenades. Which means VP will have just a little bit less to work with. And there's the opening shot, follow-up from Olofmeister. Two stunning headshots to start off this push with. Taz with the one reply. Flusher coming in, and he's going to go down as well. It's back and forth. They just keep trading Snacks, and Pasha helping out. And it's going to be all up to JW, who was holding the back line, making sure they weren't getting flanked. The push started off so well, but it couldn't be completed.
You know where he's playing from now as well. Snacks was close enough to hear the footsteps when he came through connector. And that was just beyond awkward. Sick wallbang from JW onto Taz. So he'll drop him down to 3. So somebody's going to be forcing on VP. So at least they're keeping the money down low here. But Fnatic, they don't have enough to go for a full buy. They have to eat a round of, well, they could afford a quasi buy here, going for Deagles. Yeah, investing a little bit, but that's just to equalize the money. It's not going to really, to balance out the money, it's not really going to pan out for him in any big way. They took so much time, though, to actually push out there, Fnatic, not using the smoke at Toxic. Like, where was the second smoke to go up on the site to negate Sniper and just get that bomb plant in? I was kind of curious about that. It wasn't until Wolfmeister started to ratchet it up, but then they were all split up. It was very, very off, very weird from Fnatic.
Yeah, but once they get those two opening frags, the real question is how come they can't close out the round from that point on, at least?
Flush charging Taz as well. This is sometimes where like the overconfidence comes into it, where it's just like you're so confident to take these fights and believe that you're going to win these duels that it really comes back to haunt you. Imagine Flusha, you just guarantee that bomb plant. Flusha guards the bomb planter, and then what do VP do if Fnatic are just forcing them to come to the bomb, basically controlling the situation that way.
Smoke from Neo. I wonder where that landed. If it was down by Elbend, I imagine it probably was. Now they're going to try and see if they can get a bit closer here. Nice timing, and Dennis taking 2 before he goes down to Neo. Olofmeister not going to hit the shot, and that's huge plays coming out of Neo right now, making sure that the bomb plant here is going to be very, very tough for Fnatic to get through.
Yeah, even default plants is not really going to work with Neo holding up that close. And there's the flash, and Crims misses the shot with the AWP. That was pretty much a given there. So Virtus.pro, man, one step at a time. They're just battling their way back into this half, 5-5. And Fnatic will have money for everything that they want here. JW going to dodge the AWP. Well, he didn't have enough for it. He only had the 4,000. They had enough on Crims, but he's not their primary opper. So Fnatic, it's going to be like loose, basically. Loose kind of play coming out here. Everybody has AKs. They have enough nades for an execute if they want to try for it. And they haven't. JW hasn't really had a huge impact with the op, so I don't think they're losing too much here, Fnatic, by not having him with the sniper rifle. This could get awkward, though. The master of smoke deception.
He's just listening for them on the other side. It's already pretty decent information for him to have heard. Here's Olofmeister as well. You could tell Snacks just tracing him, and he's going to get the opportunity, but Olof going to live. That still means that Snacks has a pretty good idea. There's 3 people who've walked down connector, so not at all bad to know early on.
Extra man is rotating down now, probably going to get up into sniper as well. And what is this clever play? Yeah, we have the little boost. Oh, there's the spot, and JW, he doesn't get the angle right. He's doing a little bit of damage to Bialy. Olofmeister caught a kill, though, in the meantime, and they're going to rotate back up to A. They eat a nade. Massive damage onto Olofmeister, onto 3 from fnatic. That was a dunk nade. But the important bit is that fnatic got the man advantage. They got that kill somehow.
Taz sees a couple of people. That's a very valuable jump, but is he going to be able to do anything? He's got a little bit of backup here as well. Bialy playing in the back lines, and he actually hits the shot on Flusher. Taz to follow it up, but still trading way more favorably is fnatic. Neo and Pasha, 2 versus 4 here. Neo spraying wildly through. I mean, look at the damage being done. It's still not enough, I think. 1 versus 3 for Pasha.
Yeah, and he misses the jump. This is going to get ugly. Misses the no-scope. And, well, JW, now you got your op back for free. Care of Pasha. And VP, they're down. That was all over the place for fnatic, though. Olofmeister getting the kill up on, must have been in mid or at long, because he had hung back. So fnatic, trying to make VP that they were wrapping back over towards A. Basically, the bluff within a bluff, coming back towards B, winding up there.
And you see the effect of Snatch not getting the early kill, leaving Olofmeister to live and get a kill as well. It's devastating sometimes, those small things.
And I'm still just like amazed at the brass balls on Flusha. He just runs up there, like no nades to help him, just taking the fight. And well, more of that here from Dennis. He takes out Snacks and Connector. Bialy not really able to support his mate. If they open that door, they're pretty much going to take a bullet to the face. So it's not really pretty right now. Yeah, Olofmeister's already ready and waiting, and he doesn't spot Taz, but a full flash on a Pasha. And it's just everything going Fnatic's way in this round. Nothing working. He even spots out Bialy Olof, so he can just spray him down. The info is there, and yeah, nicely done by Bialy. Still wins the duel, but there's a man close enough where Bialy should not be able to live through this.
Yeah, it is just too much of an uphill battle, and the real problem is VP actually bought for this round. They tried to force up to try and win it. Now that they didn't, they've put themselves so far behind. 7-5, and Fnatic with already a great first half, but it's about to get so much better.
Now they can just crush through VP on a hard eco. VP have got a bit of a, well, it's an easy situation for them. You got 2 choices. You force or you hard eco. And Taz is going to go ahead and spend $300 on a P250, dropping him down to $1,700. But yeah, they just don't have any money, VP. They just don't have any money.
Just 1 flashbang.
Quiero plata.
Need that. Fnatic doing what for a long time was the sort of the normal response to playing against an eco round. It's just to walk long, because even if there's a couple of pistols out here, so much easier to deal with. Obviously, if you go connector or even into that B bomb site, see how close you get to the pistols. Up here, you're basically in the A bomb site, and then even if they're all stacked up there, you can just use all your grenades to clear out every single corner. So who cares?
I like this approach from Fnatic. Obviously, if there's a flash, they're going to get dunked, but moving together 3 like that with the rifles, if anybody was to peek on VP's side, they would be instantly dead. So that's a nice thorough approach here from Fnatic in an anti-eco situation. They get the bomb plant for free, and now you just see all the VP kind of milling around, hoping to get lucky. Hoping somebody from Fnatic is going to go ahead and grace them with their presence. Olofmeister, he gets dinked. He's down to 34. Can he get a nice nade in there? He does manage to do a little bit of damage.
Oh.
And then JW 2 for 1.
Excellent angle as well. Stacks hiding in a corner. Just really hoping, but it wasn't going to happen. Dennis will take him out. And that is going to be an 8th round for Fnatic. VP, it's a bye, but it's not exactly great.
No, not really. Taz, yeah. Flash, decoy. I mean, at least they have 5 smokes. 5 smokes, 5 flashes. It really isn't pretty. Not a single kit picked up either, so they have no margin for error here for Virtus.pro. And Fnatic now should be waiting for any kind of weird pushes. They should just be exactly holding back. JW looking into connector. Smoke is going to go down. That'll tell them that at least somebody's playing around here. But then the rest of Fnatic, yeah, they aren't even pushing to top mid. They aren't going to give them the chance to go for any kind of shenanigans here, Virtus.pro. They're just waiting to see where is the aggression going to come from, because VP, they need to take a little bit of a risk here with such little utility.
I mean, that seemed to be what worked for them so well earlier when they were being very aggressive towards Fnatic and sort of forcing some of the fights earlier up. Now that they've given Fnatic more room, it seems to be working the other way. But speaking of aggression, Taz actually deciding to cancel moving up, which from our point of view seems like a bit of a mistake.
Fnatic should be perfectly fine with this situation. Smokes are going up at 1:10. They'll have 50 seconds left by the time all those smokes clear up. Pasha's the only one with the smoke left on VP, and then a single flash on Bialy. So this is it. Can Snax hit some headshots? He's going to need them. Olaf and Dennis, that tag team, they're going to be coming right around the angle soon. Spray battle. Snax not going to be able to get caught because they were actually setting up with some nades, Fnatic, so he gets out scot-free. Now you have 3 players on this A site ready to greet them, but then Flusha with the shot through the smoke onto Neo. And this is where it gets hairy. Fnatic have got 40 seconds to clear out this bomb site.
Flusha, the big question is he going to shape that corner? Pasha could get a couple of really good kills in return. There is Bialy also flanking them right now, but this corner here, and Pasha, he's going to get... Oh, actually gets the 1 kill. That's more than I thought he would have. Even Snax picking up 1. That's keeping VP competitive, and they almost line up. They will, in fact, line up. Bialy taking down 2 with that continuous spray, and now it's on Dennis, and he can't do a thing. Taz will take him out, and Virtus.pro staying alive in what seemed like a very unlikely round for them to win.
Yeah, that was... Especially Pasha. The fact that he actually trades up 1 for 1, that makes all of the difference right there. And he had the smoke as well. Like, he just sitting in that angle.
Can we spectate Neo on spawn for this round if it's still live?
What has Neo got?
Well, he's just been throwing the 1 smoke all the time, but not this time.
Oh, isn't it the jump smoke down into?
Oh, it's not a jump smoke. That's what I was wondering about.
Oh, okay.
I think it's for the other sewer though. I think it's for not for Monster, but for the other one.
Yeah, for the one that goes into sewer, because they've been like Taz has been taking over sewer pretty aggressively.
It isn't the jump script. I was just wondering exactly how it lands. It's just a detail. Well, Dennis ends up getting himself killed. Now it's Bialy opening up. It's a good job, Bialy. He seems to be a little bit slow in the beginning, but he's had some good rounds since.
Yeah, that double spray. That was a huge play from him. And now Pasha, scout, jump, gets spotted. But they've got the man advantage so far, VP. So they could end this 8-7, which would be, I mean, not the best score, but much better than 9-6 favoring Fnatic. Because Fnatic, they are going to be pretty solid on that CT side. Flusha's a real terror over on the B site. So VP, they desperately need this last round, and they're just trying to keep their cool at this point, forcing the clock on Fnatic. Basically just saying, you know, we're going to run this down and force you to run into our crossfires, into our defense. They still have incendiaries as well, Virtus.pro. They're doing a really good job of holding on to some nades here at the end of the round.
Those could be so valuable, but now they're actually starting to use them a little bit here. Kind of wish they would have saved 1 maybe for a plant. Pasha jumping over 1 time too many. Gets punished. Snax down to 15 health, but he will pick up Olofmeister at least. He's going to hide in the corner that everybody pretty much always checks. And Neo to get a couple of kills. Snax actually comes charging out, and it's all on JW. 1 versus 3. So Virtus.pro, not exactly a great first half for them, but they at least make up for it here. And JW is out of time as well. 7 seconds. He goes down, and it will be a 7-8 finish. So there's at least a little bit that went in their favor at the end, but some very. If you look at the scoreboard, I mean, once it resets here, just the trading of rounds early on, there's almost no rhythm at all.
Yeah, some lucky gambles coming out from VP, basically. That one round where they bought up with rifles and had, like, literally no nades.
You know what happens, Semler, when you don't have rhythm? The
You're
worm eats you.
What?
The worm eats you. Dune?
Oh, no, but you have... It's when you have rhythm. You actually don't want to have rhythm.
Isn't there like don't they walk in some sort of rhythm?
Yeah, but they have the thumpers, right? And that's the rhythm that draws the worm. But if you walk... yeah, what was it? There's a term.
I can't remember. I have to be honest. I'm not like hardcore into Dune. I just like the idea.
I just like read it, you know, like not too long ago, so that's why I'm remembering
really.
all these
Right.
details.
Then
and it's also one of my favorite
movies.
movies. It's also one of my favorite movies.
I'll defer to your expertise in that.
That is one of the few movies where they actually did a good job bringing it over from the book.
I haven't seen the movies. Are they good?
But movie is sick, dude. You gotta check that out.
All right. Well, Dennis, gonna look for the shot here, but not quite getting it. And Bialy, I mean, that's at least some good information. If Dennis had got that kill, that would have been hopeful for VP. Now, still so much time on the clock here that they can easily enough adjust to this VP. They do have 2 smokes and a Molotov as well. So looking for some sort of set execute here, it seems like, in the pistol round.
It's crazy, Anders, when everybody's just buying Kevlar every single round.
Yeah.
All 5 Kevlar, we just actually want to just look for headshots. You know, no. VP, they're actually showing us that they might have a strategy. Fascinating. Snax taking a bullet. Olofmeister losing 2 guys isn't part of that strategy, though.
I hope not, at least. Sacrifice a couple of people. Pasha moving closer. Nice opening on Flusher, and that's actually going to give them a chance at least to get the bomb down here. Whether or not they can defend it afterwards is a different matter. Pasha looked momentarily lost inside the smoke, but JW's right on the other side. Now all of fnatic are going to show up for this retake here. Pasha putting out a bit of a grenade, hiding in the corner as well. Actually falls down, and now he's just shooting like a madman. Not going to make it work. Taz going to go down as well. Neo, 1-on-4. And there's so many waiting for him. JW to pick up the double kill, and fnatic seemed almost effortless to pick up the retake there.
And Crims, he was just like, yeah, I bought this kit for a reason. I'm going to get the defuse, guys. 1 out of 4, and he gets on it. And, well...
This has just been a remarkably weird game. Nobody's horribly underperforming.
No, but
everyone is like, there's no one running away with the game either. It's just...
But this is that random element that comes into really loose styles of play like fnatic, right? Where... You know, they're just capable of winning rounds at any point in time. They've got pistols, they can win. They've got a force buy, they can win. Full buy, they can definitely win. Like, it's just a very odd, weird situation. Flusher going ham right now, just looking for all the kills. He's even going to go in for the repeak. The wallbang doesn't work? Oh,
no, I don't think you can wallbang that, not with the USP.
Shoots Neo in the toe, and that gets the job done.
So greedy.
Yeah, really, greed is good in this case, though, I guess.
10-7.
This is where I'm really worried. This is the key round. And man, again, VP, they just give themselves so little room to work with. 3 flashes, a single smoke. That's what you've got for an execute if you want. It's not pretty. Whereas fnatic, wow, fnatic are just going all out aggressive here. Straight to top mid, spotting 2 in playground as well. Dennis stands his ground, takes that fight. Unfortunately, Flusher was just a little bit too late there to follow it up. He might be able to get, yeah, exactly, gets the drop on Pasha. The timing works out, but Neo's able to get out of dodge. He's surviving this with 17 HP. And so far, VP should be fine with this. This works out in their favor.
Yeah, it definitely does. Taz, though, they need to win this fight, and they instead sacrifice themselves to Crims holding that B-bomb, so they look so pretty.
It did. I thought, this is the moment, this is the time. Taz, you can do it. And then Crims, you know, he's just a heartless fiend. Says, no, I'm not going to allow it. Snacks is there to get revenge, and the double kill. All right, this is just all over the place, man. I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, there's absolutely no sense in this. I think Olaf, was he just throwing out a grenade? Then the grenade right onto Neo, cancels the plant. Snacks now going to have to go back and do it himself, it seems.
He's running through the water as well, so that should be enough for Flusha to know where he's playing from. Snacks, I mean, Flusha's still taking it, and Flusha's just bait at that point because JW with the backstab is going to hit the perfect timing to get in there. Both AKs saved as well. Mad money in the bank for fnatic. They can full buy. And well, VP, they just can't catch a break.
What a confusing round.
Yeah, that was all over the place. Crims with his double, and then Snacks with his double. It's just back and forth battles, but in the end, again, these kind of clutch scenarios, they're going fnatic's way. Similar to what happened on Dust 2.
Yeah.
You know, the VP, they were struggling to try and close out these really important rounds. And fnatic just keep coming out ahead here. So now VP, I mean, they're back to pistols, just straight up run and gun. They had a single flash, I think, that they chucked into top mid, into long, to see if they could catch anybody. But then yeah, now it gets kind of awkward.
Fnatic are going to be keeping very good distance here, it seems. The only real threat right now is that Deagle in play. Neo, actually, Snack's going to be hitting that headshot, and Snack's picking up a second one. So I said Deagle, but actually the Tech-9 long range that somehow picks up all of those. Snacks close, going to be dropping all of as well, and now it's a man lead for the VP team, and Fnatic, they're quite far away. The bomb is definitely going to go down.
If Fnatic somehow lose this against pretty much a hard eco, that would be unforgivable. Oh no, Taz, point blank, and Crims now, he's going to be able to take the fight. 2 kills for him. It's down to Bialy with the P250, and Bialy decides to challenge. He just decides to try and catch Crims out in the open, give himself a better shot at basically getting some body shots in there with the P250. It just didn't pan out for him, but again, Fnatic, against these anti-ecos, man, they're really struggling. It was the same thing earlier on. I mean, in the first half, just like one player surviving, that's all of their bank gone.
Does Bialy know that if he just waits, then Crims will have to come to him and defuse the bomb? It seems like that's the common way to play that situation, just fall back and let
Oh, there it is. JW just threw the smoke. Hold alt. Rush.
Too
God
late.
damn it, Rush.
Well, just go to one of the two players down there. Nah. We'll see it. We'll catch it eventually, maybe. Ah, alright. Just throwing Rush under the bus.
Well deserved. Wow. Go follow him on Twitter, too.
Yeah, you should. He has to stream and everything.
Yeah, man. Rush is a baller. We're messing with him. Or as the Brits would say, we're taking the piss. But yeah, Rush is a good guy.
Got the AWP on JW here. It's still 12-7. I mean, nobody still seems to be allowed to run away with the game. It's obvious that if this pattern continues, Fnatic will be winning the map, but seems like all the time it's just one of these clutches can go in the favor of VP. Might have a real chance here to upset the lead that Fnatic have.
Nice execute coming in here from VP, honestly, with these Molotovs. They're a bit slow behind it. Smoke is down, and Neo hits the perfect time to catch Olofmeister off guard, but then JW is there to land the shot on Pasha, who's carrying that bomb. Neo going to be pushing through, but again with the Molotovs. This is excellent use of the Molotovs here from Virtus.pro. Flusher regains his vision just in time to stay alive, so he maintains it at a 3-on-3. Not able to cancel out the bomb plant, though, and Neo's going to be able to get in there with that headshot. So now VP, this is a situation they cannot lose, and they're doing a fantastic job. Taz with the headshot on JW, and it's all down to Crims. And again, can he 1v3 it? And it's not looking likely. He's deciding if he wants to back off or not here. But realistically, there should be no chance for him to get in here and actually defuse this, actually win this scenario.
No, Taz is being very aggressive, which I kind of want to question a little bit, but it works out just fine. That's going to make it 12-8, and the money, for Fnatic, only really one person could buy anything, and that's going to be a bit disappointing for them.
And something finally goes VP's way. Neo comes through that smoke, and Olofmeister's caught looking the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like, if Olofmeister is like a split second earlier or later, Olofmeister might be ready for Neo to come through. Neo dies, and then these Molotovs, they're all the waste because VP can't push in behind it. Neo getting that kill on Olofmeister creates the opportunity for Virtus.pro to get onto that site and apply the pressure. That was really nice from him. I mean, just that's when it works, right? When something, somehow the stars align and you actually get things to go your way. But VP with those Molotovs, that was pretty sick. And again, Pasha caught where Pasha's gonna be pissed about that, honestly, because he's like, team, team, help me here. You're supposed to be watching that tunnel.
Yeah. Snacks covering the back line as well. Neo with a bit of a double kill, and I mean, Snacks just in a perfect position for this. Almost failing to get the timing down, but works out all right here. JW going to be going down, and that'll be a 9th round for VP.
Yeah, and just enough for Fnatic to go for a force. I'd be amazed if they didn't. But they're keeping us in suspense.
They are? There we go.
Yeah, so the scout over to Olof.
Scout and AWP.
JW gets an up straight. I mean, he just straight glass cannons it. All right, and he's gonna take it to top mid as well. I like it. Does he find a target though? Nope, because Neo gets across just in time. This slow play though. I mean, this favors VP right now. They've got all the nades, and we saw that they could execute onto the A site. Can they do the same with B? They're using a lot of them though to check some of these angles. This is getting a little scary.
Grenade in the back line's gonna at least tag up Dennis a little bit, so maybe not the worst investment. Just trying to see if we could do something. It really isn't easy in global offensive to hit like really good grenades on anybody ever. There are some maps where there are some big chokeholes that sort of allow for it. I guess like Banana or an Inferno or something where a lot of grenade damage gets traded around. But generally speaking, if you do like 20 or 30 damage with a grenade, that's pretty good. I mean,
yeah, especially with how sometimes like on stairs, like there's just really awkward spots where you don't want to use nades. If the nade lands on the wrong side of the stair, that's it. It just like does no damage when it should do massive damage.
Dennis giving a lot in return. Snacks falling low. Bialy also getting tapped up. I think that was the scouting play. And Taz, he barely survives. Olaf, can he actually get the kill on anyone here? Not quite yet. Neo going to get a chance to put the bomb down. And now it's a 3 versus 4 retake here. So not exactly great. Olofmeister looking for a shot on someone else. That's wall bangs. I mean, if they connect on Snacks or Taz, that's going to be lethal.
He's looking for that shot. Taz is doing such a fantastic job of holding that angle. But now the 4 versus 1 rather. Snacks. I mean, Bialy gets hit so hard he's ejected from the server, I guess. Where did Bialy go?
Yeah, apparently. I sometimes wonder if people realize that you can shoot through this box that people are planning behind.
You can shoot through the top half. There's like 2 stacks, right?
Yeah.
With the op, you can shoot through the top half. You can't shoot through the bottom, right?
You can, even without the AWP, you can shoot through the top half.
Yeah, through the top. I thought you, but I was thinking maybe you'd found a way to shoot through the bottom one. Because that's the one where it's like, I don't think you can wallbang that one.
I think you can.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright.
But it is like some surgical stuff, but it's possible.
Okay, so you gotta line up the angle and the pixel and...
Yeah, I have spent a good long while doing it, and I'm pretty sure it's possible, but I'm not saying it's always, but I just wonder sometimes if you're not doing anything else, you know.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if you had the time to set it up right, if the smokes are down.
Yeah.
If smoke is down on short, right, and all you're doing is looking at that site, you use the wall to cut off cut off toxic and all that. You could probably line up a kind of shot through there to cancel out the diffuse if you're there with the op. But that would be some next level stuff.
Yeah, it definitely would be. Yeah, no, man, Overpass is a fun map like that. There's so many things that have yet to have been researched. Maybe it's not worth it. I mean,
well, Olafmeister remembers the last time he came up with something clever on this map, and maybe that's what's holding him back. You know, just doesn't want to do it again.
That did backfire pretty hard on them, didn't it?
Realistically, it might have cost them 4 major titles. Just saying.
Who knows, right? It's one of those
it should have
things.
been Fnatic and Envy in the finals.
I've made my own triple boost on this map that I haven't seen anyone use yet.
Well, I'm sure we'll be seeing it soon.
Yeah, it's in the video. It's in the last video on Overpass. It is fairly ridiculous. It's not actually.
It's not realistic.
It's not actually that useful. It's more because I would find it hilarious if someone ever did it. It's for my personal entertainment. All right, it's 13-9, and we're moving into the 8th round here. We've got still a double up set up here on the Fnatic side. A very aggressive move coming out here from JW, looking to see if he can catch anyone. Got to be careful now, actually, because they're moving closer. And if he misses a shot at this range, that probably is going to be lethal. He's got some backup, and Dennis is able to make it work. Goes for the long-range fight. Some crazy spray coming out. Still working out in favor of Fnatic, and JW spots out Snacks that even gets a bit of a shot through the side of the building there.
Yeah, that worked out very nicely here so far for Fnatic. They're keeping that
bomb.
pressure up. Yeah, they have the bomb out in the open as well. And so if they can have that rifle plus JW there with the AWP, kind of surprised to not see more aggression exactly from the man holding on A site to come out and hold that angle. And there you go, JW. He connects with Pasha in the end. I believe that's Olafmeister who's holding the long line with the AWP. But man, Virtus.pro, they take the pause, the tactical timeout to wait and talk things over, prepare everything for this one key round. And it's the round that Fnatic just decided to go all out, no respect, straight rush right in their face and take the fight to them. So whatever VP they'd planned to do, Fnatic didn't even let them get it rolling.
Yeah, it felt like one of those things where Fnatic just decided, well, we're going to win this game now. And VP could not stop it. I do love the sort of the combination of JW and Dennis pushing up like that. It's so, really hard for them to stop.
Especially, it's that double whammy, and the fact that what was it, Dennis, and then who had his back, Flusha? Or was it Crims?
JW was pushed up with the AWP, and Dennis was there with a rifle. And I don't know who the third man was, but nice shot from JW. And obviously VP don't have a lot to stop this with. This is looking like some almost classic JW stuff. Just as soon as he gets the first kill in, it seems like he's just able to keep going.
And I'm actually like at that moment, I'm kind of surprised he misses the third one.
Yeah.
This is very much a one-sided affair coming through here for VP. They hardly invested at all in the round, and they're just going to get slammed. Match point again here for Fnatic, 15-9. And now Virtus.pro, after that round of eco, they're going to have enough money to buy, and they need 6 rounds in a row to take this to overtime. So it's very similar to what happened on Dust 2. There's quite a gap still between VP and Fnatic, so quite a ways to go here. But maybe VP this time now they get to execute what they had in mind earlier. Because they didn't really get to do it last time. So again, we have 2 guys heading up, just the one actually, and this time it's Pasha, it's not Neo who's going to go into Playground, so that's already changing things up a little bit.
And they're being watchful defensive on that side. Olaf, though, down in the connector, going to be picking up the first kill, and they keep fighting here. Actually, a bit of wallbang. He almost flicked onto Flusha. That looked a bit scary for just a moment here. Now they're going to be wasting some more of VP's time by smoking and molotoving, and Taz burns alive. He's doing a Cajun beat, just standing in the fire, and it's Bialy and Neo left. 2 versus 5 here. Not a good position for VP to be in. It looks like it's going to be fnatic winning both maps here, and VP not able to put up enough of a fight here, losing 16-9 on Overpass.
Very, very one-sided in the end. So one-sided, in fact, that Taz couldn't bear the shame. He needed to cleanse his soul with the fire and flames. Just stand there and was hoping for redemption.
Let it all go.
Let it all go, man. Because you have now lost 4 maps in a row at the beginning of this league, VP. All of these maps can come back to haunt them.
Maybe he was trying to reenact one of those stupid YouTube videos where people put like rubbing alcohol on themselves and you know, you've heard
it's
of
always
like,
good for like the Darwin Awards, right? You know what I mean?
You've heard about like the cinnamon challenge. Who came up with the fire challenge and thought it was? If someone challenged you to the fire, you'd just be like, no.
Sometimes there's that like rubber cement though that you can put on your hand and it doesn't burn your hand, and that can be like controlled. But for the guys who like put on their pants and stuff like that, no.
Don't.
No.
Never do that. Never.
Aye. Well, that's enough of us discussing Darwin Award, sort of situations. We're going to go ahead and handle over to the analysts now to break down the game that we just saw. Actually, both games. So, Lee, it's all you.
Thank you very much, guys. Yes, welcome back to the NVIDIA Analyst Desk. So, as predicted, fnatic did take it. It wasn't any wildness like the SK NaVi game. It was fairly solid in the end. I mean, if you look at, say, for the first map, if you look at Dust 2, it was like a 12-3 first half. And then they kind of just coasted to the end. I think the score maybe looked a lot closer than it probably should have been.
I mean, they were leading 14-4 or 5.
And then they just like switched off
something
and
like
that.
Mode,
And
at that point, they probably themselves are aware that there's a slim chance of them losing the game, so they take the foot off the gas a bit. But in the end, it was a pretty straightforward win for fnatic.
And I even not necessarily felt it into Overpass, but you felt that Virtus.pro just never got like any of the clutches in the rounds. Like, they never seemed to close the rounds down. Like they trade pretty well coming into on the side. Taz was actually having the bigger game than anyone, but then eventually fnatic just closed.
Yeah,
it's just like it's fizzled out.
So both maps, they actually started out like, they'd win the pistol, they'd trade back, and then they'd trade back, and they'd trade back. And it always seemed that fnatic would eventually come out on top, and that was like. But they were there. They were in the mix for a while.
Well, that's exactly why fnatic is the best team in the world. Because when it comes to those close rounds, when they're don't have all of their resources, when they're you want to say even not favorites to win the round, they manage to somehow miraculously get a couple of kills, get some crazy headshots, and then win. That's the problem when you want to play let's say a map like Dust 2 against fnatic. It's not just dealing with them strategically. You need to be prepared for those miraculous rounds, because take your pick. All of Meister, Dennis, JW, Flasha, Creams, anyone can do it.
Anyone can do it.
To be fair though, like even Bialy had a very quiet game, who sometimes can provide a lot of that, or at least did some time ago. Didn't seem to be really operating on the same sort of level as maybe I'd hoped he had. When him and Snacks were really like bounding off each other really well, and it's just weird seeing Taz being the one to have to kind of like pull them forward and just seemed.
And you saw moments where like the team was switched off, like Pasha sitting scope down Monster, and then someone just runs out, pistols him in his face. Yet 3 other teammates are stood next to him, and nobody looks at
someone to come running at you with USPS.
Like, you also expect someone to be covering you.
Hindsight is 2020 when we got X-ray on, right? But then when you're just like watching someone to push from Monster, maybe they're like gonna like peek it, maybe just trying to get a quick kill. You don't expect Olaf Meister to just come plowing through with a USPS, nothing else, no reason as to why you do it. Just get in your face and pick up a quick kill. Like, sure, it's really annoying from Pasha's perspective because you'll say they're like, guys, hello. But outside of that, like, of course, it's just kind of like bad luck almost at times. You just say like, well, it happens.
Not looking good for Virtus.pro though. Let's check out, of course, what the matches were today. If you missed the early games, it was SK up against NaVi, and a bit of a shock certainly came their way, that's for sure. SK Gaming coming out on top in both maps. Incredible stuff. Cobble was a whitewash, a 14-1 first half over on the CT side. Yes, the CT side. Incredible stuff. And then they managed to take them 16-12. Then, of course, moving on towards the Score Esports hot match of the night. fnatic getting the double over Virtus.pro. Fantastic stuff. So overall, what are your quick thoughts on the league so far? I mean, that's a 0 for Virtus.pro starting out.
I think that teams like NAP, G2, maybe even Dignitas, they're like now, everything's going according to plan, I mean, the VP and the NaVi are probably the 2 teams who are, the biggest contenders for that 3rd, 4th place. In my opinion, fnatic and NVIDIA are probably the 2 main contenders for the first 2 spots, and then it's all these other teams.
I mean, Astralis are what, 2-2 now? Wasn't the greatest.
Although
stuff,
they had okay, they were favored against G2, but they had a game against NaVi as well. But I mean, it's definitely going to be tight. You guys were talking about it last season. You know, teams like VP got off to a slow start, causing them to miss the offline finals in the end. We saw FaZe playing really well.
Yep, getting the 2-0.
Yeah.
See,
so.
and I'm looking forward to seeing if Flipside coming in and they're not like the easy beat team, we suddenly have everyone being able to maybe pick up a couple of games. Whereas last time the kind of bottom 2 teams, I guess, were pretty easy pickups in the previous season. So it kind of gave a little more buffer for teams above them to just break ahead. But if Flipside come out and they're not trash, then suddenly you've got a really close league because suddenly, you know, SK are playing well. So they're above that. Now you've got FaZe coming in, who is the other like kind of wildcard team who I don't think we need to really question their performance. So suddenly you've got teams now like that top 4 is ridiculous. Top 6 is even ridiculous. I don't know. I think I want to see like how everyone's performing. I think Nip's going to be a little happy, I guess, that like certain teams are looking weaker, but then also they now have to step up because you consider them to be a team that should be able to get maybe within the top 6 to 7.
And I think this should be like the NaVi example should be a lesson for other top teams that they should not get complacent. You know, they should not underestimate these other teams because they are going. You know,
because NaVi have been doing well at events,
and
they're not doing badly.
And they play a lot of events. They get invited to every event. Teams like SK, they don't get invites. They have to go through qualifiers. They don't qualify for everything. So if they qualify for a league as this one, which is
they take it super serious.
You know, it's their main thing they can play. So you know.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, that is it for us this week. Next week, of course, there's going to be yet more games. Lots of stuff coming up on Monday. This will be, so set your watches for that one. 7 Central European time. It's going to be fnatic versus G2 Esports. That is the ex-Titan lineup. And of course, Virtus.pro are going to be up against Dignitas. Some more Danes that they can face against. Some tough matches for them. No doubt about it. And of course, you guys, don't forget to check out the Score Esports app. You can get the scores, the stats, news, articles, everything over there on iOS and, of course, at Google Play. Everything you need is all right there. That is it for us, guys. Coming up later tonight in, I believe, 3 hours' time, it will be 2 Central European time. But the American side of the NA ESL Pro League is going to be Cloud9 versus CLG and Luminosity versus Liquid. So some pretty damn good games tonight over in America.
Potential for some really creamy action, you can say.
Well, Moses, we hope to see you later tonight. That is it from us, guys. We'll see you Monday.